veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
welcome in, guys. We are here. What was that?
That's my speaker.
Is that your phone kicking off?
No, it's my speakers.
Your speaker? Okay, whatever. Okay, guys, we are back with this season's Never Ever Met first season, episode 5, The Love Hangover. Guys, how are you doing this today? Like, what? I can't even get my thoughts together. There is so much going on out there. Like, not the Diddy video, not the Diddy apology. Like, we'll talk about that. I said I'm gonna get together with you guys live tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna try to break it down a little bit and just kind of talk about what we're thinking and feeling about this whole Diddy situation. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. Like I always say, I said this before, JR, you know I say this all the time, ladies. How do you know you are safe with him, right?
Mm.
What? What that mean?
Yeah. Well, it's something that has been an industry joke or an industry storyline for many years. You hear many references to his parties and other things like that. So I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Yeah. Hey, hi, bye, Reza, Miss Wilson. Good to see you, Pandy. Boss Life Online. Baby Dow. Hey, how's it going? JR out there. So you decided to change your name. Wait a minute. I'm almost shocked. I get to this. So now what is this again? JRX rated? Ooh, what's that all about? Talk to us.
Well, had to do a name change. Obviously, you did a search, and a few others have done a search for me on YouTube, and they found there's hundreds of thousands of JRXs reviewing different things and different types of videos. So had to separate myself from the rest.
Yeah, you had to stand out from the pack. I heard that. I once told that to Jeremy Speaks, and Jeremy Speaks became Jeremy Speaks TV. So now we see our own beloved JRX TV is now JRX rated. So check him out, guys. Check him out. He's here on the YouTube streets as well as on the IG pages too. So definitely check him out. Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna have enough time before you have to leave us to go watch your beloved NBA basketball game?
Well, one game's already over. Like the Knicks have been eliminated, so that's one game.
They still choking after all these years, even when Patrick Ewing is retired. They're still choking. What?
Well, this is the best they've played in like 20 years or so. Well, at least 10, 15 years. This is the best they played. So.
Which ain't saying much.
It's not.
Boo, 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 boo. You can tell I don't like New York. The Knicks.
Yeah. But the thing is, guess what, Aubrey? Where are the Pistons at?
That's okay. I'm not worried about them. But you know what? Because we already got our 3-4 championships with the men's team. And before the
91, 92, and okay. 2004.
And wait. We already got our women before the women team went to Oklahoma. We were the first team in the WNBA to even win a championship. So, hey.
But not the last team.
That's all right. You can say what you want. It's people out there that have never won. Name all the top-notch players you can think of in the NBA. They don't even have rings, right?
What do you mean?
He's got like 4 rings. He's got 4 rings. He's got 4 championships.
Who's got 4 championships?
I'm not saying no names. I'm not saying no names.
Exactly. Exactly.
But he's
John
got four,
Sally.
and that's four. And that, no, and that's four more than a lot of these superstars have.
Hmm.
Let's
Okay.
see. How many did Patrick Ewing win? How many was that again? Huh?
None.
What?
None. 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 I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm not a
Big old
Knicks fan.
goose egg. Big old goose egg.
Yeah. Patrick Ewing. He messed up back then. Right. I can't forgive him for what he did either.
He
Can't be
choked.
7'1" and missing wide open layups. That's crazy.
Right. That's crazy. Yeah. Patrick Ewing was the king of choke. I kid you not. Now, all jokes aside, I watched this man. I watched him carefully back in his day. He was the king of choking. He would get his team to the finals or to the playoffs,
Mhm.
and he would choke. Like, okay, like there's such a thing as, and you know this being in the field that you're in, there's such a thing as performance anxiety for men.
Yes, there is.
For
Yes, there is.
I'm sorry for athletes. Let me be fair. For
Yeah.
athletes.
Yeah. I just clocked what you said. Hmm.
I bet you just
Right.
did.
But yeah, no, there's definitely a sports psychological experience where athletes can perform well in practice or in different settings, but when it comes to game time, big games, they buckle under the pressure. They don't perform well. So yeah, that's exactly what that's about.
Yeah, exactly. That becomes a problem because I watched him. I mean, seriously, literally, I used to watch him very carefully, and it wasn't that I hated or disliked the New York Knicks, but it's just that I knew every year after watching him for a couple of years closely that he was going to do the same thing. That he was gonna choke. You know, that's what they call it. You choke. He had the skills,
Yeah.
he had the talent, but he just couldn't bring it to fruition. Right? He
Also,
needed.
his team also choked as well. Like
Yeah,
his team
that
didn't
now
perform.
I can agree with you on that. Now, would you say like a coach like Jackson, like Phil Jackson, who is the king of psychology, sports psychology, I would say, in his era, that a coach like him, or even the great Chuck Daly from the Detroit Pistons, one of those coaches might have helped the New York Knicks back then, if you're
I think,
familiar.
yeah, I think Chuck Daly, if he had coached the Knicks in the '90s, having won 2 championships with the Pistons,
Hmm.
he would have been a good fit because he would have instilled a championship winning mentality. I also think Pat Riley left too early. They got rid of Pat Riley and replaced him with Jeff Van Gundy and managers like that. So they don't know how to win. Whereas Pat Riley went on to win a couple championships with the Miami Heat. He's still there as their president now, all these years later. So
Wait a
yeah,
minute.
different
They just
coaching.
went on to win something with the Heat. Who did you just name?
Pat Riley, the coach.
Oh, Pat Riley. I was gonna say. I thought for a minute I misheard you because I was gonna say
Nah.
rest in peace. But Chuck Daly is he's passed away. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. No.
Riley,
I was saying
Riley was
Chuck Daly winning the championships in the '90s with the Pistons, that would have been a good fit.
Mhm.
Because when Isaiah Thomason and Joe Dumars retired and things like that, you know, he could have gone to the Knicks and made them a contender for the title, but he didn't. And like you said, he passed away. But also, he was familiar with Ewing because he was the coach of the Dream Team, wasn't he? Like for the
Yeah,
States, so they
yeah,
would have
he
had
was.
some kind of training together as well.
Very good
But
point. Excellent point. You really know your basketball.
mhm. But
Yeah,
NBA
love
savant.
the coach. Oh, savant. I love that. Hey, Babs. Hey, El Cid. Hey, Ari. Hey, Miss Wilson, Colton. Everybody okay out there? All right, now. Don't be doing no stalking, folks, okay? We're going to get on with this show.
Hmm.
And no, okay, El Cid, I'm going to stop bashing. I'm going to stop bashing your beloved Knicks, okay? All right. All right. We're gonna get on with this thing here. Yes, we're gonna get on with it. Okay, so this week on the Never Ever Mets. Oh my goodness, this week on the Never Ever Mets, we saw
Chaos.
yeah. Thank you. We saw chaos. But we also saw Aaron tell Millie Wait a minute. How did I get that? Oh yeah, we saw Aaron H telling Millie and Greg that Diamond has him in the doghouse for what happened the night before. Basically, when Diamond felt like he should have interjected into the conversation that she started with Jody. What do you
Mm.
think? What do you think? Should he have? It's two women talking. So what was he gonna do?
Yeah, what I think is she, I mean, Diamond really started the mess. She didn't really have any reason to air out the private conversations that the rest of the group were having. And when nobody spoke up and admitted to saying what they were saying, she felt like she was left out there to dry. When in reality, she caused her own situation. And then because she was stranded, now she's looking for her man to come and protect her because she feels like the whole house has stayed silent, and she wants them to speak out against Jody. Now you're right; it's two women, so Aaron doesn't really have a horse in the race, and that's why I think he came in and specifically not only targeted Jody but also dragged Aaron J into the situation, the younger Aaron. Because now it's man versus man, woman versus woman, right? So he kind of evened up the odds a little.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it seems like too he's kind of a little bit focused. Maybe Aaron's a little bit focused too much on that boom boom room action too. We
Oh
see him
yeah.
kind of talking about that boom boom room action. So, like I said, like when you get married, when some married couples argue and the husband has to sleep out on the couch instead of on the king size bed in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I with this one, him telling Millie and Greg that he was in the doghouse, I thought that was very interesting, and I guess it kind of gives us a inkling of what's to come, right?
Yeah, it was definitely a tactic to get some boom boom room action, get back in her good favors, because he
Yeah,
said whether she's right or she's wrong, he's going to stand beside her regardless. So it doesn't
yeah,
even matter
if she's right or not. Yeah, do you agree with that? With that thinking mindset?
No, not necessarily, because I think he should be able to have a conversation with Diamond and say, listen, you just because you're privy to these conversations that have been had, you threw everyone under the bus in that movie. You didn't have to involve yourself in someone else's relationship to that extent. You're not there for them. You're there to build a connection together.
Right. That's the thing I'm kind of concerned about too. Like, is there I'm hearing the echo over there, JR X rated. But anyway, but yeah, I agree with you. I think the thing of it is it would be different if it was like a debate or argument about something that was happening in the moment with Jody, right? Like Jody just lunges out and calls Diamond a name and goes all ballistic on her, right? And if her
Mm-hmm.
man kind of wanted to have her back and say, well, hey ladies, or you guys, maybe both of you should calm down and go in your separate corners, yada yada yada, right? But this is basically a debate and an argument about gossip, which is like he said, she said, like, so for Diamond to get in there and say, well, everybody's talking about you, but why is it your business to tell everybody what everybody is saying behind that girl's back? Why is it up to you? And if you're going to address this, then maybe address it as, this is how I feel, and leave everybody else out of it. Like if you're passionate about your viewpoint and your mindset and stance in this, stand 10 toes on that. Because what I'm not going to do is stand 10 toes on what somebody else is talking about, because I don't know their logic. I don't
Right.
know. But anyway, we see in the next scene, we segue into Sienna and Brandon have a meeting with Taronda. And Taronda's got some bad news for these guys. What you think?
I didn't think it was bad news. I thought it was overdue good news. It's time to go home.
Time to go home. Okay.
Yeah, based on Sienna's treatment, of Brandon, like it's time to go. Like she's not feeling him, and obviously we've documented their exchanges over the last
Right.
few episodes. So yeah, it was home time, and rightly so. And he felt relieved. The funny thing I thought was she said she felt a huge weight off her shoulders.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I
now that
caught
she's
that
being
too.
sent home, right? But really, she was the one putting Brandon under duress. So I'm sure he felt more relieved than, or had a right to feel more relieved than she did. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, overdue home time. I called it out a few weeks ago. There's no need for them to stay on the show once those exchanges started happening more frequently and becoming more aggressive in their nature. So, mm,
Right. Yeah, that's true. I'm just trying to type this in. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm trying to type in your new name to see if it comes up in my search, and I can get over there. Yeah, it did. Okay, that
yeah,
was good.
straight,
That was really
there
good.
you
Okay,
go,
I'm gonna
straight
go ahead
away.
and I'm gonna like this video and I'm gonna comment in your stream in a second, but give me a second to get caught up with over here. Yeah, and Kiki, thank you. Kiki, our moderator, is also over on JRX TV's live with myself as well. Oh, looks like El says so you're getting quite a bit of views. That's great. That's great. That's great. Let's see. Miss Wilson says, I disagree. Jody and Chris started the mess. Okay, I'm gonna put a highlight on that because we're gonna come back to that. Okay, we're gonna talk about it some more in depth. Um, but where were we at on this ticker? We're on Sienna and Taronda. They get the news that their experience has come to an end. And a question for you guys out there in the chat, and whether you're on the replay or if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you're on JR's channel, put it in his chat. What do you think this couple, the couple being Brandon and Sienna, what do you think they might have learned from this short amount of time that they spent at the house? There's some things that they could have learned, and then it's a two-part question. But let's deal with that first. What do you think, Jr.?
What I think they could have learned.
Yeah, what could they have learned? Because they did have some time together, and
Yeah. Um, I think they learned all they needed to. They they obviously learned that the online connection they had, um, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to click in person in the same way. Um,
okay,
and if the person's underwhelmed by what they see or how your mannerisms are or turned off by other things, then ultimately the connection doesn't grow any further, right? So
hmm
that's one thing I would say they both learned, um, based on the way that Sienna behaved towards Brendan. Um, I think there's a lot for her to learn about herself going forward, and maybe
mm,
how to conduct herself in relationships.
okay.
Um, and then I also think that the advice from Taronda in the situations where they sat down with her, like they both need to take some of those things on board.
Do you think that, because I got the feeling, and tell me what your thoughts are. I got the feeling that Sienna was actually a little bit shocked and surprised that Brandon would ditch her, because I think
Yeah.
I really think this girl thought she's like kind of like Chris in the house. I think she thought she was all of that in a bag of chips, as the kids say.
Hmm. I get that impression too. She was initially shocked that he didn't want to stay and work it out, but I don't blame him at all for wanting to leave because, you know, it was happening too often, and it was getting to the point where she was getting more and more disrespectful as she was growing more irate. So, it's best to leave now before you get too invested. You have more intimacy and a sexual connection or component to your relationship. At least none of that stuff was established, so they can pretty much
Look
just
who's
leave
in
it
the
there.
chat. Hey, did you see who's in the chat?
Uh, now, who's in the chat?
You look on the screen. Can you see your screen?
Ah, okay. It's Aaron H. What's happening?
Yeah, Aaron H is here. All right.
hmm And just before we continue, everybody, your support and your views are much appreciated. So like, share, and subscribe this video, and the rest of them if you like the content. Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you for saying. Thank you for saying. Aaron H, if you're able to come up, I will drop the chat and you can come on up and maybe explain some things. All right. Okay. Let me get that. All right. Let me get the link. I'm doing it right now, copying it, and I'm getting ready to drop it down into the chat. Okay. And yeah, definitely come on up and speak your speech, sir. Now this link is only for Aaron H. I almost started to say Aaron J. I had to catch myself, but no, this is for Aaron H only. And okay, I guess he's responding to you guys in the chat. Diamond isn't with him tonight. Hey, Marie, fabulous vibes. Welcome into the chat. Yeah, I'm just seeing it now. I'm running a little bit behind. Oh my God, I'm looking at the timeline on this. Okay, I was over there at JR's channel and trying to get things situated and shout him out. Yeah, El said there definitely is a way to bring things up. I agree with you on that, and that's what I was saying. Like I think there's a way to bring things up, calm, cool, and collected. And I don't know. I guess Diamond maybe perhaps was upset because when we think back the night before, Jody did yell at her and say that that was a lie. And for a lot of people, like I was telling a friend of mine this that didn't understand, growing up when I was a kid, if you call somebody a lie, or a liar, that is one of the most offensive terms that you could call someone, like a name, like literally, like we think about Sienna calling Brandon the B word, the bish. It's like that to some people, depending on your family. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go, guys. We got welcome in Aaron to the Aaron. I can't. Oh, there you are. Okay. Welcome in, Aaron. Hey there. Hey, guy. Hey there, Aaron. Good to see you.
Hey.
My Detroit
Good to
brother.
see you. Good to see you.
Good to
Yes,
see you.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you're gonna have to talk to us. So we got questions, and hopefully maybe you can provide us with a couple of answers. We got questions. First of all, how you doing today? We're gonna start there. How you doing? You okay?
I'm doing great on this Sunday. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I am great. I'm loving it here. It's like 90 degrees here in Detroit. Well, oh, I'm sorry. It just dropped down to 76, but earlier today it was 90. And my good friend from high school, Yvette, just got ordained, became an ordained pastor at a church in Detroit. I know it's something tabernacle. My God, I cannot think of the name right now, but I'm really excited for her because she will be leading and doing things in the community. She's very community oriented. So I'm really excited about that. And I know you know a little bit about that lifestyle, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am. And Detroit is the only, if people that listening don't know, Michigan is the only place you can go to and have all four seasons in one day.
There you go. There you go. So I say it was 90 a second ago. I turned around to look at
Yeah,
Alexa. Alexa is talking about 76. I'm like, what? 76? Which is
yeah.
okay, because yeah, your girl like to be a little cool sometimes. Uh
It might snow tonight.
oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, it might. It might. Are you here in back in Michigan, or are you elsewhere?
I've been in California for 8 years.
Oh, okay. You're in California. You in Cali. Okay. Well, okay.
Uh-huh.
It's also a place where you can have four seasons, what I understand, in one day, depending on what part of Cali. Yeah.
Well, in Cali, Cali is the best year-round state for weather you can get because it depends on where you go. If you want to be hot all the time, there's a spot for that. If there's a spot for all four seasons, there's a spot that's mixed, so you can get whatever you want here.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's just take, let me go off script for a minute because I had all this lined up. But let me just talk about your portion in this week's episode with you and Diamond. Like, what was the mindset? And Jr. too, you feel comfortable to jump in here too. That's my partner from the UK, my co-host.
All right.
What was it like? What was your mindset going into it, that when you heard that Diamond felt like you were fake, what was the thoughts behind you felt it necessary to address that right away?
Okay, here's what I need you to pay attention to it if and when you watch that again.
Okay.
Notice when Diamond walked away, the very first thing I said was, I'm not about to get into it with you. Me and Diamond never argue, ever. I don't get into it with her, period. That's case and
Okay.
closed. Now, I did feel that she had some merit by saying that nobody spoke up but her. Now, was it her actual place to speak up? Well, maybe not. But as you heard me say on the show, and I'll repeat it again, I'm always going to stand by her whether she's right or wrong in the public's eye. When I'm out of the public's eye, then I'll discuss with her what I think should have taken place or whether she's wrong or not. But on the public, I'm not going to argue with her in public's eye because when people see separation, they try to jump right in there. So I never show separation between her and I, ever. That's a no-no for me. So when I walked into the room, yes, I could tell you, let me start off with, yes, I should have and could have handled that a lot differently. But when you get caught up in your emotions, a lot of times we do things that maybe we wouldn't have done if we had thought it out. I didn't think it out. She called me fake, and that was it for that because I don't have a problem saying with whatever it is that I have to say. No, I never liked Jody at that time. And so that gave me a reason to say that because on the show, I never even said hi to Jody. Not one time that we were there. I never even spoke to her. Period. Now, did she do something personally to me? No,
Yeah.
she didn't. It was just something about Jody that I did not care for. It was just something about her. So when Diamond said, hey, because me and Diamond spoke on this many of times, alone. And when she said that I didn't speak up, I didn't. So that gave me a chance to kind of really voice what I really thought. Now, was I right? No. But it is what it is at this point.
How would you have talked to Jody differently? Because you say in the episode we saw that you never liked her, but I'm not sure how that was relevant. It seems like you were a little aggressive. You were a little aggressive, I thought, with her too.
It wasn't really relevant, but the simple fact that Diamond and I had talked about that many times. Now, I do want to point this out because this is never going to be shown. Diamond was on Jody's side for a long time. I would say no about Jody, and Diamond would say Jody was okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
We didn't
I'm
see
telling
that.
you the real deal.
Okay.
Diamond was on Jody's side for quite a while, and I was dead set against her the way she treated Aaron. I was like, hell no. But Diamond was not. She was debating with me. No, you don't see. I see in this now. I said, no, I don't see that. But so I never cared for Jody for the way she treated Aaron and stuff like that. I thought it was BS. I looked at Aaron as like a son almost, and I didn't care for the way she treated her. But I didn't have to come on to her like that. No, hell no, I did not have to do that, and that was unwarranted. But at the time when she called me fake, mixed with me not liking Jody, emotions hit, and it just came out that way.
Okay. Hey, JR, jump in here.
Uh-huh.
Jump in.
Yeah. Greetings from the UK, brother Aaron.
Blessings, my brother.
All right. Yeah. So I can kind of see why you jumped in at the time. You're kind of covering your woman, and like I mentioned earlier, you did say whether she's right or wrong, you're gonna stick by her. So I can kind of see the angle with that. I can also see the angle where, in a way, because you had a friendship or you were cool with Aaron J, why you kind of stepped into interject because you felt how he was being hard done by, to a degree, by Jody as well. But you said something interesting a few moments ago, which is when people see division in the couples, they're quick to jump on it. So do you think that that's what people were doing in the house with Jody and Aaron? Do you think that people saw division and they were quick to pounce on that?
Exactly. I learned. I'm gonna tell you who I learned this from. My mother and father, blessedly, is still here. They've been married for 61 years. They
Mm-hmm.
never show division. I learned that from a long time ago. Let's say somebody wants to talk to me or talk to Diamond. Let's say a guy wants to talk to Diamond. As soon as he sees some division between me and Diamond, that's his end game. That's the way to jump in. I wouldn't do that to you, because
Mm-hmm.
he's seen something there. So you don't show. My dad always said, keep your fronts up. Ain't nobody got to know what's going on the inside of your house. Make sure the outside clean, because don't nobody see the inside except you.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I always keep my front game up. So yeah, when you show division like that, if Jody and Aaron would have never showed division, none of that probably would have never taken place. Same thing with Sandia and Chris. If no division had been showed, then nobody could have got in. With me and Diamond, we never showed division. You may talk about us, you may call me the toe sucker, the pastor, call us messy, call us counselors. I done heard everything they done called us. But what you can't call us is divided.
Right.
Ooh,
You
all
can't
right.
call us that.
Okay.
They say them two
Oh,
deserve. They say them two deserve each other. Yes, we do.
mhm. Okay. Now,
Okay.
I mean, I have a follow-up question. So, did you feel any way when you saw the division between Brandon and Sienna? What were your thoughts on their relationship?
I like Brandon. Brandon is a really cool guy. The way you see him on the show is the way he is. He's just a laid back, calm type person, real easy talking. That's just him. Um, uh, Sienna is who she is. I didn't have a lot of interaction with her. Here's another difference between the cast and I. If you pay attention to the past episodes and even just watch the future, you would never see me sitting down with a female alone ever. I don't do that. That's not what I do. If there's a female involved, Diamond is right there. If the men are talking, I'm right there. So I talked to Brandon many times. I've never had a one on one with Sienna because that's not what I do. That's a Diamond thing right there. So I don't know that much about her. I just know I'm just like you guys. I know what I've seen. And even they didn't show this, so let me slide this in there because they didn't show this. Even when they took them off the show, Sienna cussed Brandon out, told him to get the motherfucking bags and bring the shit down and hurry the fuck up.
Mm-mm.
She was still on level 10, even
Damn.
leaving out the door. So now,
Hmm.
if she's really like that, I don't know. Was it an acting thing for the TV? I don't know. I've never spoken to her, but I could tell you, even going out the door, Brandon held back, and he did good because I don't know if I could have held it that good with somebody talking to me like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
Mm,
I mean, I'm sure you witnessed plenty of situations where she was going off on him, throwing the flowers and cussing him out and
I, w-
everything.
I wasn't I, I wasn't there for either thing. I didn't see the flowers being thrown. I didn't see the bitch being called. I wasn't there for either thing. Most of the stuff, me and Diamond found out most of the stuff later. Someone would come and tell us because we were kind
oh,
of, we were the older couple, so we kind of stayed away from most of the stuff that they were doing.
And let's be
okay.
real, you were probably
Even though it
both in the
seemed
boom
like
boom.
we was all in all the time, we were not.
You're probably both in the boom boom room while everything was taking place.
Right. So yeah, we were not around that.
Eh,
Yeah,
eh,
yeah. I was sucking the toes at that time. I was sucking the toes. But
Exactly.
my, my.
See?
Well, you haven't been here before, I don't think, but I'm a huge fan of the toe execution situation. But anyway, anyhow, we want to get back on track here. So I wanted to ask you, were you there? So that was the night before, let's say, when Jody was yelling at your girl Diamond. Did you feel any kind of way about that, or did they edit out some things that were maybe Diamond was also yelling back at Jody? What did we miss in that scene?
Wait a minute, because my phone's going in and out. I heard, was I there when I was there with Jody for what now?
Okay, so like the scene in the kitchen where the scene where Diamond basically says she's disappointed in you because you did not come to her defense or you did not stand by her side.
Uh-huh.
Jody is yelling at your girl Diamond and calling her, saying that Diamond is basically telling lies on her. What I was wondering, did you feel any kind of way at that point? Because it did seem like Jody was getting rather loud. Did you feel any kind of way, or did they edit out some things with Diamond maybe yelling at Jody?
No, but see, I know Diamond, and Jody didn't want to yell probably another one or two times, or we probably would have been off the show.
Ooh.
Diamond is not one to. She's a very sweet girl. Don't get me wrong. Diamond is a sweetheart. She will talk to you. You will fit. She's one of those people, and I'm not just saying this because I'm around her. I'm saying this because even if I didn't know her, she's one of them people that if you come across her, you would say that is the sweetest woman that you could meet. However, she's not one to play with either. She's not one to play with either. You know, like Tupac said, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. She's just not one. So all that yelling Jody was doing,
Right.
She didn't want to do that too many times.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. I've been trying to explain to our European co-host right here, JR, that though I'm much more refined than I am when I was growing up, that there's a level or buttons that you can push the wrong button with me, and it's gonna go there. Like, so don't take me there, but if you take me there, I'm gonna finish it.
What I try to tell Diamond, and I know on the show it seems like I'm unhinged a little bit myself, but we'll talk about that. But what I try to tell Diamond is, I said, listen, when I was younger, I'm very ticklish, but when I was younger, people used to try to tickle me, and I would take it, I would hold it like I'm not even ticklish, and they would just do it. Now I'm losing my man on the inside, but on the outside, I never let him take it, because what happened when I did that was, if I'm not ticklish, you're not going to try to tickle me. It's pointless. So what I've tried to tell her and anybody is, you can't let people know what your buttons is, because if you do, they're going to try to push them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't let people know really what pushes my buttons. And that's how I try to tell Diamond the same thing. I say, hey, don't let people know what's making you mad, because once they know that they made you mad, they won already. Because they got you. They won.
That's so true. One of our partners in the chat family is saying, did you feel like, Aaron, you specifically, did you see the opening for division and purposely, intentionally widen it between Jody and her, Aaron? Do you feel like that was intentional on your part?
What you
So we as the audience right now, we're basically at 5 weeks in, and we've said from day one pretty much on this channel and my chat family that we don't see any physical, sexual chemistry connection or even an emotional connection with Jody and Aaron J, right? So would you say that maybe was it a strategy of yours to maybe try to make it more obvious to the rest of the house, and maybe they're going to be eliminated next? Was that a strategy of yours?
No, I said it from day one. The crazy part, I said they wasn't together from day one. Maybe they came as friends or something like that. I said it from day one. So no, I wasn't. And by the way, to you in the audience, the show is not about elimination at all. That's not the goal, to eliminate. It's not an eliminating show. The two got eliminated because you cannot put your hands on another person in that kind of manner. And then the second two got eliminated because once you say that we're only going to be friends, that is not the purpose of the show. This isn't called Friends. So they were eliminated. Other than that, as long as you're trying to be a couple, it's not eliminating the show. It's to see what's going to happen. So no, nobody was trying to show somebody was going to get eliminated. It wasn't that type of party. But I just knew what I knew. And I told Aaron that, and I told Greg that, and I told Chris that, and I told everybody because we all, and like Chris on the show said, I never said anything. Okay, whatever. But we all sat around and said something about them as a couple. And I've definitely said it. Like they is not a couple. That the man never hugs the girl, kisses her, nothing.
Now,
Nothing.
are we talking about the other Aaron and Jody? Are we talking about Chris
Yeah.
and Sandia?
Yeah.
No, Aaron and Jody.
We're talking about Aaron and Jody.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
We're talking about Aaron and Jody.
Okay, so you never saw them really hugging and being affectionate. We do see that this week though at the
No.
whatever the rope challenge thing was.
No.
Well, here's the kicker. I want you to think about this. Some of these people, well, all of them, we haven't seen each other in X amount of time. So 5 years, 12 years, 3 months, 6 years, whatever it is. So if you haven't ever seen a person and you're standing around talking about, I need my space, well, how much the hell space do you need? You just had months, years of space. How much space do you need?
With that.
I want to be under diamond 24/7 because guess what? When the show is over, how do we know when we're going to see each other again? It may be some time if we live separately like that. We live in different states. We might got to plan something. It might be a month or two before we see each other again. So while we got this month right here, I want to be up under you.
Right. That's what I would
think. She said,
exactly.
"Oh, I need space." Space. How much space you need?
Wow. Well, let me ask you this, going back to, because I want to get on Chris a little bit. So, like, going back to that first night in the house when Chris was talking to all you guys around the table in the kitchen, it looked like, and he was saying that he's, he's got so many women that like him, that want him, and that Sandia's not his girl. What was your thoughts about that? Because I felt like you probably observed something as the senior in the house. What did you observe? Can you tell us? What did you feel?
First, let me say I like Chris. Now, here's why I like Chris.
I'm glad you like him.
Chris never changed. Wait a minute. Let me tell you about people like Chris.
All right.
My mother. I always say you got to respect her gangster, and this is the reason why I say that. If she doesn't
your mother's gangster,
she's
right?
not going. Yeah. Listen, if my mother does not like you, she's not going to front when she see you. Hey, girl, how you doing? This and that, and talk about you behind your back. No, she doesn't want to be nowhere around you. Okay, Chris is kind of the same way. He's not going to deviate from what he's saying. He's going to stick right there. He stood there the whole time. Now, here's something that they didn't show. When we first got in the house, you probably already heard Chris say he don't trust women. I asked Chris personally. I said, but you got a mother. He said, I don't trust her either.
Oh, okay.
Now, if a man don't trust his mama, if a man don't trust his mother, you ain't got nothing coming. That was my thought. I said, oh, she's done. Because he don't trust his own mama. Now, I'm not making this up. That's what he said.
But he said that to you or to the other guys. Did he ever say that around Sandia?
No. Like, we were all sitting at a table. I don't know if Sandia was in the mix of that. I can't remember whether she was in the mix. But this is when we first got to the house. We were all sitting around the table. And he was talking about how women is this and they didn't deserve to be over nothing and women are emotional and all that kind of stuff. He said all this stuff. But he stands on his word. He's standing on it. On 10 toes. And I said, hey, but you got a mother. He said, I don't trust her either. Well, once the person said they don't trust their own mama, it's no need of me talking about it anymore because that's a wrap.
Right, because the reverse would be a woman saying that she doesn't trust her own father, and if I were a guy, I would be done. I would be done with her because she's telling me that she's too damaged for a relationship, is what I'm hearing. But okay, so that's with him. Is Sandia really as meek as we see her as viewers? Because of course they've edited a lot of stuff out. Is she really as meek as she appears to us now, or did you see sides of her where she was more outgoing?
Who are we talking about?
I'm sorry, Sandia. Chris's partner in this, Sandia? Is she as
Oh,
meek as she
I
seems to
I, I
be?
nick yes, I nicknamed her in the house the Quiet Storm. That's what
The
we called
quiet,
her, Quiet Storm.
the
So she
quiet.
doesn't say too much. Now when she does say something, she'll say something, but she doesn't say too much. She's real quiet,
Okay.
really
Okay.
nice, but real quiet.
Okay. JR, back to you. You want to get back into let's take us back into the scene with Aaron and Jody in the kitchen.
Mm, yeah. Okay. Well, in that particular scene, like it seemed like Aaron tried to defend cover his girl at the time. Um, Obviously, he could have been stronger with it. But how do you see Aaron J in the Jody dynamic? Do you think he should stand up for himself more, speak up for himself more, or do you think he should just call it quits as well because there's no connection there? She's not romantically connected to him, intimately, sexually. Like you said, she's been talking about she wants her space already, and she just met him in person. So, what do you think Aaron J could have done differently in his particular relationship?
Well, first, if you notice in the kitchen when we were talking and I was yelling, he was finna say something and she shut him down. And you heard me say, "No, don't listen to her. Say what you gonna say,"
Mm-hmm.
because I felt like she was ruling him, and what he wanted to say. No, say what you gonna say. Don't listen to her. But I'm not. I've never claimed to be a relationship expert. None of that. I didn't go to school for this or nothing. So they could. Who knows? They could absolutely work out and be a loving couple. I don't know. I just don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it. I don't see a connection in this show here. This last. I'm only talking. I'm not talking about future stuff. I'm talking about the stuff that happened in the past. So this episode here, you notice he said he doesn't make her girly parts tingle. So he's
Mm-hmm.
starting to notice it.
Yep. I,
He's
I think
starting to
Right.
he's
notice
no.
it too. Like,
I, I think
And
he's noticed that from their initial interaction, even the intimacy challenge that all the couples did on the first challenge you guys did. There was no real effort put in to make it seem like they were connected on that level. So, um,
both challenges. Both challenges. Remember the
yeah.
first challenge that we did? Well, that wasn't no challenge, but remember the first thing we did when we was on the ground, they
Mm-hmm.
debated about what they was going to do and did rock paper scissors. And then this
Mm-hmm.
time again, I'm not going to do that. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it was all about her. It wasn't about him. Let's go back to the initial date. Even if
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't open up the bottle, he was kind and thoughtful enough to do. The date was for the women, so he did
Mm-hmm.
what you wanted to have done, what he knew that you would like. He put in the effort. So if he put in the effort, why not praise his effort instead of looking at the downfall?
right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I was like, wow, I'm glad that didn't happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right, right. I mean, you would have probably handled it okay coming from Diamond because I don't know, but I don't know you, but what I'm seeing as a viewer, you feel like you put a lot of time and intentionality into your words with Diamond, right? And I mean, sometimes at
Hmm.
some point we may not like how our partner is responding or reacting, but that's where communication works. It can work, right? And so for your man to say to you, is there something I can do, babe? It's gonna be okay. What do you need? What are you thinking right now? Because, this, that, or the third, right? Sometimes we all could
Right, right,
benefit from
right.
just slowing down and just really talking to our partner instead of taking everything personally and getting offended and like, oh, it's over, right? What
Well,
is
I
that?
I try to listen. I try to listen. I'm very old school when it comes to certain things. Like, some guys ask questions for just to have a conversation. Like, if you meet a female and I ask them, hey, what's your favorite color? Or what's your favorite drink? What kind of food you like? The reason why I ask this is because I'm listening, so I know when I take her out on a date, I know exactly what it is she wants. When I take a woman on a date
Mhm.
for the first time, I open
Mhm.
up my car door. I open up the door for them, and on that seat, there's a dozen of roses, their favorite color.
Mhm.
Wow.
Because I was
Okay.
listening. I was listening. I heard what you said. I heard what you said, and that's the reason why a lot of women used to like to go out with me because I treat them like a queen, actually. But me and Diamond just locked in, so I listened to her, and I try to understand what she's saying, even if I think that her feelings is wrong, is not, she
Mhm.
she's right to feel whatever she feel, but just because you feel that way doesn't make it fact. But even if I feel
Mhm.
that her feelings are not fact, I still take it into consideration and I say, okay, what could I have done differently to dissolve this situation? Because personally, I don't know about all men, but I don't want to go home and go to bed alone or argue with you or wake up the next day and something that happened to you, you gone and I never got a chance to say I'm sorry and stuff like that. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Mm.
Mhm.
So I don't argue with her.
Mhm.
You
Okay.
you make
Cool.
you make me think of real quick, and I'll let you go, Jr. You making me think of the R&B song "Just in Case." I hope that's the name of it. You know the song I'm talking about, just in case I don't make it
Okay,
home
you
tonight.
talk about you, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
right,
Just in case, baby. That's it.
right, right. That's why I say I see a lot of intentionality, and over here on this channel, I've been saying from pretty much the second, I think it's the second episode that you and Diamond are two of my favorites on the show. And I got
Well,
the
I
house
certainly
bet.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I got the house bet on you guys to take it, to win, to really go the distance. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm not saying, I know you're saying it's not a game show, it's not Ready to Love. I get it, okay. But I really see you vibing as a real couple. Um, I guess we got to move on to what about the exercise that they took you guys to with the bondage? What was that like with you and Diamond? And which one of you was roped? Was it you? I think it was you.
I was tied up. I was tied up.
You were tied up, I should say,
I
yeah.
was tied up. That was a little bit different for me because um I gave Diamond the ram to be able to handle me. Now let me give you some little insight of me. I was in a 12-year relationship where I was abused. Ike and Tina. I was Tina, and so that was
Oh,
8 years ago. So
oh,
coming out of that,
oh.
it's a little, it's not as easy to have a woman trying to tie me up. Is you trying to tie me up to hit me or something? But uh, I felt comfortable with Diamond. Um, she had me. She blindfolded me. She made me feel secure. She talked to me. Why she had me? Hey, is this too tight? I said, no, it's fine. Are you hurting? And I was very comfortable with that. I'm one of the guys. Now everybody isn't like me, but I'm one of the guys that don't mind a woman who takes control. Just don't abuse it. Don't abuse it. I don't mind a
Okay.
woman saying, "Hey, you need to go over here and do this." It doesn't bother me, but don't abuse that. Don't abuse that.
Mhm.
Mm, okay. Okay. And I gotta say, and thank you for reminding us, because honestly, with all the different moving parts in this episode, I almost forgot. And I want to thank you, sir. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is sincere, as a woman who has experienced DV myself, right? Uh it really affected me some kind of way to hear you, a man, say that you had experiences when you were talking to Alexis about what
Hmm.
was his name, Dominique. When you were talking
Hmm.
about that and just your experience and talking to the people in the house, that you were so transparent and open about that as a man. A lot of men would never, they would never, if that had happened to them, they would have never shared that in that platform. So I want to thank you for that.
Well, you welcome, and the reason why they probably don't share is, one, it's embarrassing to them, and two,
Hmm.
some people use it as a weapon. Now there's a blogger out there, and I don't know her name, and I wish I did because I sure would say it. But
Hmm.
she just did a review on the show. She just did a review on the show, and she brought up my DV, And she said, yeah, the way he talked to women, yeah, no wonder some woman beat his ass. Now,
Whoa, whoa,
uh,
whoa.
that bothered me, and I can tell you right now, I would no longer even go to her blog and post or trend or anything, because if you say something like that, that's like a woman going through any kind of sexual abuse or something like that, and you tell no wonder that happened to you because the way you dress. You don't
Right.
do that. You don't take the
It's
victim
condoning. Right. It's
and
condoning
then make them the
victimization.
perpetrator.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that really, listen, I could take a whole lot of stuff, but that bothered me. And I just heard that today. Today. That bothered me. I was like, wow, that's awesome that you said something like that, because you don't know me like that. But it's cool. It's cool. But yeah, I tell people what happened to me, because I don't call nothing a failure. I just call things a learning experience. I learned, and one thing that I learned to do was duck. Okay, I learned to duck and run. But it
Okay.
was a learning experience. Yeah, I could laugh about it now. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been through it. But
Okay.
it was a
Okay.
learning experience, and I did receive two wonderful children out of the situation. But it is what it is.
You feel like maybe that, just one last thing, and we're going to move forward. You feel like maybe the two children that you had in that relationship that you were talking about, you feel like that was the reason why you stayed as long as you did, you think?
That along with, don't forget, I'm a PK, so we was raised to not divorce, uh, to stick with your family and stuff like that. And again, it reminds me of what love got to do with it, because if you see, Tina made an excuse for him all the time. Well, Ike's got problems. Ike's going through stress and this and that. I kind of did the same thing. I made excuses, said she was getting better, she wasn't going to do it no more, this and that and the other. And it steady happened. It happened and it happened and it happened and it happened. I'll give you one instance. I remember she was mad at me one time, and I was on a ladder. It was about a 12-foot ladder, and she
Ooh,
came and just yanked the ladder with me
ooh,
on it at the top, and I came
oh,
tumbling down to the ground. Luckily, I didn't hit my head or something like that. But these are just the kind of things that she would do in her anger problems. Now, I don't want anyone to get me wrong, because there's somebody out there that's gonna say it's probably something he did, because that's usually what they say, it was his fault. I never said that I was perfect, because I'm not. But things that she did had nothing to do. You can't go to court and say he said this, and that's the reason why I hit him, because you can't do stuff like that. But it had nothing to do with that, and I'll give you one example of that. One time I went to Burger King, okay, Burger King, and they had sweet potato fries out. Now I left her in the car. They had sweet potato fries out, and I got up to the counter. I said, "Excuse me." I said, "How does those sweet potato fries taste?" All of a sudden, I heard something say, "Bitch, if you want to know how the motherfucking sweet potato fries taste, bam!"
ooh, ooh.
Because I was
Ow.
not allowed. I was not allowed to talk to any woman.
Mm.
So if I went to the counter, I had to wait till a man was up there. I couldn't go to no woman. Oh no, 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 no.
Are you
I wasn't allowed
serious?
to listen. I wasn't allowed to go and see about my mother.
What?
Yes, and let me get this straight with you. I'm not even blaming her, as
Right.
I allowed this to happen. I allowed this to happen because that she was who she was, mother of my children. I was there, and I was going to stand by that. Remember what I said a little while ago. I'm going to stand by you, whether you're right or wrong. I'm gonna tell you in private. But I stood by that for a long time. I stood by that. I went through so much that I could talk on this thing for hours.
I would like to, seriously. And
Well,
no joke. All of this aside, I would like to have you back on a panel and really discuss it, women, men and women, and really discuss this, because, like I said, it's something near and dear to my heart. Also, how you were able to recover. And can I just ask you this: was there any kind of therapy involved after you got out of that situation?
uh yeah, me and God Himself. They say call on Jesus. I had His number on speed dial, baby. I left Michigan. That's when I left Michigan 8 years ago. When it was all done and over, everybody was looking at me, looking for me. I was in California. I had gotten my truck and put my little clothes in the back and came to California, and I ain't looked back since.
What about the
It took
children?
me
Or were they grown up by that time? Your children?
no. Those children are still teenagers. I got my oldest is 32. My youngest is 13, and up above that is a 17-year-old. That's the two younger ones. But I never look back. But I can tell you this, and for the people that think you could just get over, it's easier said than done when you're on the outside. You could just get over, just get away from them. No, you can't turn love on and off like a light switch. It doesn't work that way. So even though I was here, it took me about 2 years to actually be done with her, because if she had called me within that time and said, "I'm sorry, come back," I would have went back. I would have went back.
What?
I can tell you that right. Yep, I
Hmm.
would have went back. I would have went back because I loved her.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yep, I can tell you that right now. I would have went back.
Is this anything you maybe witnessed in your childhood growing up? This type of dynamic in the household?
No, my mother and father, I've never seen them get into it one time. I never even seen my mom and daddy kiss, because they didn't demonstrate stuff around us like that. But
Old school, yeah, I
but
get it. I
yeah,
totally get it.
they old school. I'd never witnessed that. My father was a church goer. My mother, now here's the funny part. My mother never really was. She never went to church. Now they say you're not supposed to be unequally yoked, but my father went to church and listened to Pastor Bobby, and my mama listened to Bobby Blue Bland. So so they never, but they was always, you can't separate one from the other. So I know my childhood was pretty good. I'm the baby of three. I'm the baby of three.
Okay.
And my childhood, yeah, no, I mean, no parent is perfect. My parent always say parents raise you to the best of their ability. You cannot get mad. They did the best thing way that they could. Now, I know some of these new parents is out of pocket, but they did the best they could. But no, I never witnessed any kind of abuse or anything like that. Nothing.
Okay. Okay. JR, you get a chance to
Yeah.
look in that chat? Yeah.
No, I haven't looked in the chat, but I got a
No,
few things.
the
I mean,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
first of all, thank you, Aaron, for highlighting a very obviously serious and very underreported situation that takes place when it's often DV, when men are victims. So it's very courageous of you to share your personal experience of it, and it raise awareness, because it does happen. And like you said, it often gets overlooked because we're meant to be strong and silent, or we have this, um, we have to live up to these standards that have been set where, if we talk about certain things, then we're sassy or we're whatever. But yeah, so I commend you for being brave enough to share your story, bro. It's common, right? Um, so that's also why I did ask about the Brendan and Sienna situation, because it looked as if that relationship could possibly head that way, where you're going to have this lady escalate her aggression and her anger towards him, and it may manifest in some further uh, situations that he may be on the receiving end of. So, did that trigger you at any point, hearing that those type of things were taking place around you, not directly involving you, but did you kind of see Brendan as being potentially heading down that line that you had experienced in your previous relationship?
I think Alexis' situation triggered me a little bit more, but with Brandon, I don't think I ever told him anything. Like, I know that the saying is, why is the older couple think they counselors? But if you really look at it, we never gave anybody any advice. We listened. We might have asked a question, but we never gave advice to anyone. So unless like Chris asked me a question, but with Brandon, I never gave him any advice. I listened, and I would say something like, "Wow, that's crazy." I never, when the bitch name got called, I was looking at it just like y'all. I didn't even know that actually happened. Somebody mentioned it happened, but I wasn't there, so we don't see everything. That y'all
Mm-hmm.
seeing some of the stuff that we didn't even see. But
Oh,
Right.
okay.
no, that didn't really trigger me. The Alexis thing did. That's the reason why I talked to her the way I did. Now, of
Mm-hmm.
course, me and Dominic was at it for a second, because He didn't like what I had said. However,
Mhm.
I extended him an olive branch as well, and we had a conversation on the phone, and we're okay. I'm cool. He's actually an okay guy that made a mistake. I think his biggest mistake was just not apologizing in the first place and leaving it at that. But I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he did something that maybe liquor had a part of, but we can't blame it on the alcohol, as the song say. When it comes to
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. But I
Right.
don't think that's me talking to him. I don't think that's his normal trait. Like people are saying, he probably do that all the time. I just don't think it is. Not talking to him.
Right.
Oh,
Okay. I have
okay.
another question actually, and this is about Chris and Sandia. So you also mentioned that the way that your thought process, the way that you were brought up, is you keep everything in house and everything like that, um, and deal with it there, right? And
Mhm.
with Chris and Sandia, and the Jody Aaron dynamic, did you was it the sense that something could potentially happen between Chris and Jody that had everybody talking, or was it the fact that they just weren't connecting, or weren't they were actually talking up the other person more than they actually were talking up their own partners? So was it the fear
Yeah,
that something was going to take place, or was it just their chemistry?
that's what it was for me. It was a talking. Let's reflect back to at the table when Diamond and I think that's when Diamond and I was playing the game, and she said that to her, Chris was the most romantic person in the house. Now,
Mm-hmm.
let's think about this for a second. What did Chris do so romantically besides for the helicopter ride? He talked to Sandia like whatever. So how is he so romantic? Where did you get
Mm-hmm.
that from?
Yep.
So
Right.
she, I'm like, that makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
How is he the? I mean, she talked about him like she had been out on a date with him or something, or she done seen something. He showed
Right.
nothing except a helicopter ride.
Right.
So
That's
how is he the
it.
most romantic person in the house? I could have seen if she'd have said Josh because they
Mhm.
always up under each other. I
Yeah.
would throw
Right.
me and Diamond in there, but I can't. I could even throw Millie and Greg in there. But how did you pick Chris out of all people?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
No. So that was one of the things, and then the simple fact that Chris in there talking about that's his favorite person. Now I'm gonna give it this. I don't think that Chris had any intentions on her. I don't even think she's his type. But do I think that she felt something about Chris? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
We
Okay.
can
I
see it.
see that.
We can see
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what makes you think that Jody is not Chris's type? And why does he appear to be flirting with her?
That I think that's just Chris's demeanor. He says what's on his mind, and that's it. I don't think Jody is his type. Looks wise and nothing else. I'm not saying that Jody is an ugly person, but
Right.
it's just not. It's just not Chris. Chris seemed to like really thin built women, and with a certain statue about him. Maybe more so.
Sandia's type?
Not yeah, Sandia's type, not dominant like that. Not so mouthy. That she's not his type. I can tell you that right now.
Hmm. And
Mm.
that was going to be my next question. So, do you think that Sendia is Chris's type? Like that's the type of
Yeah,
lady. Do you think he was underwhelmed with their meeting and their interaction, and he expected her to look different, or do you
no, I,
think
I
he
think
like
I
that?
think that I think Sandia is his type. I don't know a lot about the Haitian culture, so I really can't speak on it. But it seems like to me that if you notice, Sandia always said that that she was going to stick behind him no matter what. She wanted to see it
Hmm.
through. So it
Right.
seems to me that that's a part of their culture. They don't let that stuff go. Everything that he said, she said, oh, "I know you said that." He said, "Hey, we're not together. I've said that." She said, "I know you said that."
Hmm.
So that you can't do no American woman like that. Come on now, they wouldn't
Hmm.
even win for that at all. But
Hmm.
I think that's his type. I think that's his type. Absolutely.
Right.
What you call it is not.
Jody's not okay. Cool.
Is it Jody's mouth, or is it Jody's attitude too that's not Chris's type? Because I don't see him, like you said, I don't see him with a loud mouth woman. Like Jody is really expressive, loud. She doesn't seem like she shows that toward him, but within the house, obviously she's come at Diamond, your girl. She's come at different people in the house, and she's very loud.
Right. Well, that's one of the reasons why she's not his type. That's
Ah,
just that's just it's not a bad thing. That's just a
okay.
Jody personality. I started liking Jody a little bit more later, after the show, um because
Yeah, after you don't have to be in her presence. Okay. Yeah, I get
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, because I started watching some of her lives and the way she interacts and stuff like that. She's not a
Okay.
bad person. That's just a part of her
No.
personality. But that
Okay.
personality is not for Chris.
Hmm.
Right. And also I'm gonna be fair too, because we're taking this out of order, but I'm gonna be fair too, though. I have to say that watching this episode this week, I felt for Jody, because she begins to open up with us viewers and lets us know that she has been abused, and that
Yeah. See,
she was
I just
abused at
found
an
that out
early
just like
age.
y'all.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yep.
okay. Also, you didn't know in the house she was abused at an
No.
early age. So it sounds like as a
Yeah.
child, perhaps. That is a very scary thing to have happen, let alone to even like you. Like I thought that it was very courageous of you. I think it's very courageous of her to say on national TV, on this platform, that I have been abused. And the reason why I'm this sexologist is because, like, it's almost like she's trying to take back her power. But the problem with it is, as a viewer, she seems to be contradicting herself, because with her guy, she has no physical sexual energy. And then she also says in this episode that she's a man eater. Did you notice that in this episode, Aaron?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yes, and she also says that she needs time to interact with people. She said, I think that was this episode. She said that she needs time. She don't
Yeah.
just rush in. But yet she said in the beginning episode that she liked to
Hmm.
smash, within the day or month. So it's really contradictory to what she said. Now this I'm gonna say, and for the people out there that have been essayed, I'm not saying this for all people, but I do want to say this. It doesn't surprise me about her being into sex that way, because over the years that I've been around and dealing with women, I'm going to tell you this right now. The most freakiest women out there that want to do the freakiest stuff, whenever I end up talking to them, they always tell me it was a point in time that it happened to them.
Hmm.
Every single
Hmm.
time. Every
Hmm.
single time. I don't know what it is about that does something with them with sex like that. I don't know what it is, because that's never happened to me. But every single time when I meet someone like that, they want to do crazy stuff. I want you to stand on top of the house and get butt naked. I'm gonna run around the house 3 times, and the third time jump off on my face. Okay, those type right there, those type right there always end up telling me that it was a point in time in their life that they was assaulted like that. And so I don't know how that. I asked one person and she couldn't really give me a straight answer, but I don't know how that equates to them being so openly with sex like that. But for some reason, it does.
I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna take a guess as somebody that delved into social work. I'm gonna take a guess that it's a trauma response, right? It's a
Okay.
trauma response. Hey, you go through a trauma, and sometimes you feel like, to take back your power, the very thing that was done to you, you want to still be able to be proud and out in the open about your sexuality, your hot and heavy time. That's what we call it over here, right? The sex word. You want to be proud about it. You want to feel empowered about it. You don't want to be afraid anymore, which actually makes me kind of wonder about Jody, her response to things, and maybe why she got so loud with Diamond is she still is healing, and she's not feeling protected, because certainly we noticed that Aaron J, he never steps to her side like you did with Diamond, with your woman. He never steps to her side to support her and to uplift her. And he just seems to be kind of like a passive wallflower. And a viewer on the chat wants to know if 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 Jody is Aaron J's type, or does maybe he have a different type, because that's been kind of discussed too.
I don't, I don't.
I'm sorry.
I know where y'all trying to go at, but I don't,
Well, we just
I
asking the
don't,
questions. We just asking. I mean, is she
listen,
does she
what,
seem to be his
what,
type?
what to the viewer, I know where you're trying to go. Okay, but I do not, I do not know. I do not know what that man's type is.
Oh, okay.
He said that she had a thumper when we did the one exercise or whatever, but
He
he
seems like he likes
uh,
Chris a lot. He seems to like Chris a lot.
who,
Aaron.
Aaron?
Yeah. Anyway.
Y'all crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let
Y'all,
me leave that alone. But I'm just saying the question on the floor is really only just this: is Jody Aaron J's type, in your opinion?
I don't think so. Well, he picked her, so maybe she is. I don't know. That's I don't know what his type is. I don't know.
That's fair
I don't
enough.
know.
That's fair enough. Let's mosey on. Let walk us on over, because let's get to this big fight scene at the end. Like, this woman is comes in the house, and she's Diamond's sister. I think her name is Irene. And you had your friend Ron, who I thought was very handsome, by the way. Shout out to Ron. Ronald.
Oh,
Uh,
he'll be happy to hear that.
yeah, I thought yeah. Okay, so but you guys come together, and Diamond makes the introductions, and like right off the rip, it seems like Irene is like, she just doesn't like you. I don't understand what's going on, but tell us what's going on that we're missing.
Okay, well, to you and the people listening, uh, it seems like I went to 0-100 real fast when I actually went to 0-100 over a year and a half to 2 years of dealing with her disrespect to me.
Wow.
This didn't happen overnight. This didn't happen overnight. This has been going on for a long time. So, according to what Diamond said, because I didn't know anything about this, is she was upset because of the whole ring situation, which I'm not going for that, to be honest with you. But if y'all want to say that, then I'm gonna say okay. So I get on there on Facebook, like I said on there, and I tell Diamond I love her. And somebody whom I never even seen or talked to said, "We will see." I'm like, who the hell is we? Who are you? I don't even know you. So she starts going on and on about I gotta prove something to her. Why do I need to prove something to you? Now let's go back a little bit. That's not Diamond's sister. That's a friend that she calls sister. That's not her sister
Oh,
at all.
okay. Okay.
That didn't come
Okay.
from her daddy or her mama. That didn't come from either person. That's just a friend.
Okay. So
Okay, now
clarification
that's
there.
number
It's
one.
not her blood
Yeah,
sister. Okay.
yep, clarification. That's not blood sister. Now, during this time of us going back and forth, I extend her an olive branch. I said, listen, Irene. I said, maybe we came off wrong to each other. I said, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you an olive branch, and you can ask all the questions you want, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability to what I think you need to know. She never came down. She stayed on 100 the whole time. Diamond asked her, so let me ask you something. If me and Aaron gets married and we're together for 20 years and happy, then what you gonna say? She said, I'm still not gonna like him. Then there's another part, an exclusive video of her and Diamond talking that's on YouTube. If you listen to
Hmm.
her there, she says he can come in here and talk, but it's gonna go in one ear and out the other. So if what I say doesn't matter, why the hell did you come on the show?
Right.
Why? What was your purpose? To get 5 minutes of fame? What was the purpose? So did I handle that wrong? Absolutely, I did. I'm here to tell you, if I could do it again, I would do it differently. But that girl had me so heated. I was in the next room, me and Ronald playing pool.
Mm-hmm.
I could
You
hear
had walked
everything that she
away.
was saying.
So you had walked
Yeah,
away, right?
I,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I could hear every little thing that she was saying. So when I got in there, my blood pressure was already up, baby. And if you heard me when me and Ronald was talking, I said she gonna get what she gonna get. Cause I already knew. And matter of fact, I even go as far as to say I told Diamond, if she comes on that show, I'm gonna let her have it.
Oh
So if
wow.
I were you, I wouldn't bring her on the show. Yeah, I said it. I said I'm gonna let her have it. I said I'm gonna tell you that right now because she done disrespected me too many times and gonna tell me what I. If you notice in the room, she told Diamond that he can't even take care of you. What does he have to bring to the table? I've been a business owner for 35 years. I have the largest black-owned business in my county. Trust me, I
Wow.
can take care of Diamond. I don't need Diamond's help. But
Ooh.
yet, she gonna tell Diamond he can't take care of you.
Wait a minute. Don't
Girl,
tell me
please,
you
I
all
keep
about
taking
the.
care of you.
Wait a minute, Aaron. Don't tell me you all about the soft life for your love, huh?
Hey, let me tell you something. I was raised old school. So when men say, well, it takes two incomes these days, well, then go get two jobs. Go get two jobs then. It's not your job for your woman to sit there and work and help you, and then at the end of the year, you want to claim head of household. You
Ooh.
ain't the head. Y'all half and half. So since she got to do half the work, and you only got to do half, then I feel like she deserves to get another half a man to help her too. He's a part of it too. Okay, because you're not doing it all, so she can go do something separate too. No, if I'm going to be the head, I'm going to be the total head. Now, don't get me wrong, because I'm not the type of man that says a woman ain't got nothing to say. Because beside every good man, there's a great woman. Okay, so I listen because as far as I'm concerned, when Bill Clinton was the president, it really was Hillary. Who you think telling him something at night? No, you shouldn't do that. But what I'm saying is, I
Oh Lord. Ooh, child.
I don't mind a woman taking control. But the thing is, it's a way to do things and way not to do things. And I'm always going to work and provide for my woman. So for you to sit there and say that this man can't take care of you, that go to show me you don't know me. You don't know my last name. You don't know my children's name. You don't know if my mother and father is dead or alive. You don't know anything about me. So how can you make such remarks about a person that you don't know? She didn't know me. And so therefore, I went off. Now, I'm sorry that I did that, world. Was I wrong? Yes, but I'm human. We all make mistakes. We all get caught up in emotions and make mistakes. But hell, she talked about my mother, my children.
Everybody in your family, like she read your whole family. I was like, now see, like I used to tell someone that used to be here that was from New York, and I don't know if you know about them New Yorkers like to play the dozens and your family and your mammy and your daddy and all of that. I don't play them games in Detroit. Like if you want to go there and talk about my mother and my father, be ready for war. And dang sure don't
Listen,
bring my kid. Dang sure don't bring my kids into nothing. Dang sure.
you, you, you from Detroit, Michigan, right?
That's correct.
So, so let me let you know something that the world didn't know. I've been doing comedy over 30 years. I did comedy with Mike Bonner, Coco, Bobo Lamb, Kool
That's my
Aid
boy,
that passed
Mike.
away. Yeah, yeah, all of
Oh
them know me.
man, Mike
If you ever
Bonner.
if you ever if you ever run into them, ask them about food stamp. They don't know me as Mr. Quick no more. I was food stamp back in them days. But and then I
Okay,
switched over
okay.
to then I switched over to Christian comedy, which I still do to this day. So trust me, I could have let her have it bad. worse than
Ooh.
what I did. I could have said some things that would have just blew her head up. But I try not to go there. I'm not gonna talk about your mama and your kids because they ain't got nothing to do with this. They ain't got
Right.
nothing to do with this. So we don't know what's gonna happen after she talked about my kids. I don't know what I'm gonna do. We gonna stand back and see on the next episode what happens. Cause you done took me to a point of no return, baby. Talk about my mom and my kids.
This is what I'm trying to say. Like, what? How did she open her mouth to say that? It's one thing for you to go back and forth, but now let me just ask you this. And now, speaking on that back and forth, at what point in time? Because I guess at some point this looks like the security kind of had to get involved. It looks like your friend Ronald had to get involved and kind of walk you out of the room. But now let me just ask you this seriously: at what point do you feel like that you should not be doing this back and forth with women? Is it your feeling that it matters that she's a woman, or what? And why did Diamond invite her if you said that to Diamond up front before she came?
First, let me let you know this. I do not, on a normal basis, get into it with women. I respect them. I got a mother. I got 3 daughters. I got a sister. I was raised with both sets of grandparents and both sets of great grandparents. I respect women, all in all. But at that in particular time, I didn't look at her as no woman. I didn't look at her as no woman at all. I looked at her as a person talking crap to me. Okay? And if you're going to talk crap to me, I'm about to talk crap back because you're not about to embarrass me, is what you're not about to do. But it was a wrong decision. It was a wrong decision. Now, as far as Diamond, I don't know what was in her head. I didn't get into it with her about it. I didn't say, Diamond, you shouldn't have brought her on the show. You shouldn't have did this. You shouldn't have did that. Diamond did what she wanted to do, and I left it as that. It no need of crying over spilt milk. Is already gone now. It's already said and done. Forget it. But what she was thinking, that's something you had to ask her because I have no idea. Because if I tell you what's going to happen, believe it.
Right.
Believe it. And
Okay.
I tried not to let that happen. Trust me, I had in my head, I said, I'm just gonna let her talk and I'm gonna sit there and just look at her like she's stupid. Man, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. I was like, this girl here, baby. This girl, and see, that's why everybody talking, well, not everybody, but there's a lot of people talking crap about me. Oh, he's unhinged. He don't need to be on the show either. He disrespecting women, this and that. They don't understand that this girl did this to me for almost 2 years.
Oh,
Almost
so
2 years. This is our first. Yeah, this is our
she was
first
going
time
back
meeting
and
face
forth
to
with
face.
you on social media? Like when you say two
Yeah,
years, you'd never seen her. So
on on,
how was
on,
she?
on social on social media. I couldn't
Oh,
say
okay.
nothing on Diamond's page without this girl dipping in, talking crap. I don't like him. One person in a group said, "Yeah, but you told her to kiss your ass." I know that was her that told me that. She told me that. I tried to stay pretty respectful even on social media. Only the worstest thing I said on social media was I said, "Well, I seen your picture, and that's the reason why I'm talking to Diamond's fine ass." Okay, I seen your picture, so you don't need to be talking. But that was probably the
Ooh,
worst, and that was the comedian coming out of me. But that was probably the worst thing I said. Like I said, I extended her an olive branch. She never came off. She told Diamond didn't matter whether we was together and happy for years and years and years. She still wasn't gonna like me. And then on the show, she said whatever I said was gonna go in one ear, not the other. That's somebody that has an end for you, and I believe in my heart she's jealous of Diamond.
quick, yeah. Thank you. I was just about quick question. I was on the last thing on it. Does she have a man? Does she have a husband, a long term
Yeah,
partner, or does
yeah.
she have
She she
someone?
she has a she has a husband. She has a husband, as far as I know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if they get along or not, or whatever her situation is. But she do
Okay.
have a husband. But she definitely has too much time on her hands because she's dipping into
Yeah.
Diamond's situation now. Somebody asked me, that means she cares about her. And what of your sister? Well, I have a sister, and I can tell you right now, one thing my sister's not going to do is she's not going to dip into my relationship, and she loves her little brother. She's not going to dip into my relationship unless I ask her for her opinion. And even when she gives her opinion, she always say, Aaron, now you know how I am. I'm going to pray for people, and I don't talk about people like that. She's very calm manner and cool. My sister writes Broadway plays in New York. My brother wrote for Cool in the Gang, Alicia Myers, and many others.
Oh
Okay, so I
wow.
got a family. It's only 3 of us, and we all entertainers. But she'll tell me in a minute. I'm not getting involved in that. I'm not getting involved in that. And so with her dipping in like that, she was just dead wrong because if she has a problem with the way with somebody of Diamond, then she should address Diamond and not address me. She came addressing me.
Right,
She
right.
talking
That's
to
what I
me.
thought.
I don't
Why
even
not?
know you.
Why not ask your friend the questions that you need to ask? And then this is my feeling as a friend. I'm gonna be truthful with my true friends. I'm gonna be very truthful about my observations about your man, or if I saw him online. And if there's something I feel like I want you to address, or something I want my friend to consider. But after all is said and done, then my job is to step back and let it happen, and then be there for my friend if things go awry. Right?
By the way, I just thought about something. Let me clear this up too, because I know people talking crap about this, and I would be talking crap too. Diamond said to her that I proposed to another woman, and the woman said she would think about it, and then I came back to Diamond. That is not the way that happened, and that sounds terrible. It sounds terrible. I can tell you that right now, because somebody tell me that, I'd be like, what? So he proposed to somebody else, and they told him they'd think about it, and since they was thinking about it, he came back to you. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad, but that's not the way that went. I can tell you that right now. It's not the way that went. But the
Well,
way
wait a
she
minute.
told her, she told her sister that, and that
Mm,
does. Well, she told her sister that on the show.
right. Okay.
So, and that does sound. Now she didn't tell her that prehand, so now it's an excuse to be mad. But she did tell her that on the show, and it does sound bad. But that's not the way that went. Now everybody wants to know what happened with the ring thing, and I can tell you right now. I'll tell you the same thing I told everybody else. I don't even talk about it. The reason why I don't talk about it is because it to hatch up old wounds that's already healed. Sometimes when you pull stuff back in, you end up arguing again over something that's already said and done. You got to realize that this is 2 years after the show right now. And when Diamond said it, it was 2 years prior to the show. So that's 4 years ago. That's 4 years ago. I don't rehash that. I said, Diamond forgave me. We moved on, and that's all that matters. I don't need America to forgive me. I need Diamond to forgive me, and she did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you do see that. You do see with these reality shows, what you guys
Yeah,
tape could be like. We just watched Love and Marriage, not Huntsville, but Love and Marriage DC, and that stuff. Because I had them on. I had the Tylers on my show. We interviewed Jamie and Arena Tyler, and all of that stuff happened like almost a year, 2 years ago. And now people are
yeah,
getting the wounds are being reopened, and now folks are getting mad at each other
exactly.
all over again. Yeah. You see
Hmm.
that a
Yeah,
lot.
they mad about something that happened 2 years ago. That's why whenever anybody asks me, they say, "Well, we want to talk about the ring." I'm not about to talk about the ring. The one thing I'm gonna tell you about the ring is I was forgiven. I was forgiven, and that's it. Now, whether me and Diamond make it or not, you got to keep watching to see. I don't know. Could be not. Who's to say? You got to keep
Mm,
watching to see whether we make it or not. I don't know. We may or we may not. But she forgave me for the ring, and we moving forward.
okay. Well, she forgave you for the ring. You moving forward. I know you can't talk about it, but I do wonder if there's any kind of counseling that's going to happen between you guys, or do they feel like you guys don't need any counseling? And it looks like Millie and Chris next week. It looks like we're gonna see them still getting into it. Like, I don't know. I know you can't talk about that because that's in the future.
Get ready, get
But
ready, get ready, get ready.
get ready. Anything else you can tell us about this week's episode that you want to tell us? What did your friend Ronald? What did he think about your girl Diamond? Besides the fact that he thought she was beautiful, I heard that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One of the podcasts said that he was stirring the pot. Oh, you're beautiful. But he liked Diamond. He liked Diamond, but he's talked to Diamond a bunch of times because a lot of times when I'm on the phone with Diamond, Ronald will call and I'll put them on a three-way. But I've been friends with Ronald for 37 years. That's a 37-year friendship. So if I did like her, I
Wow.
would say that's my brother.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I
yeah,
was
that's a
about
that's
to
a
say that's
37.
like your brother
Right.
right there. I think it said on the
Yeah.
show you
Yeah.
said since eighth grade you guys have been friends.
No, that was her to say eighth grade.
Oh, okay, okay,
But
but you guys,
yeah, we no we
yeah,
we've been friends since the ninth grade.
ninth grade. Okay,
Since
all right.
since since the ninth, I went to Southwestern High School.
Oh, did you?
Um,
Okay,
I went to Southwestern High School. My mother was the head secretary there.
okay,
But
okay.
so yeah, he liked Diamond. He did not like the sister, but the sister friend. But he liked Diamond, and he enjoyed his trip to California and all that good stuff.
Okay. Jr. Come on now. I know you got some questions because Jr. has been
Come on,
watching.
Jr. Who shot Jr.?
Oh,
I,
that's
hey,
funny.
Well,
I still want to know who shot Jr. I ain't figured that out to this day. Go ahead.
yeah. Well, I have a couple of questions. So, um, did how was Diamond yours and her friend's dynamic after the altercation? Because obviously it happened 2 years ago. How has it been since then?
Uh, she's still on the same stuff right now.
Okay,
Yeah,
goodness.
What?
it ain't
She
changed.
has not
Yeah, it
grown
ain't
and
changed.
oh
Yep,
wow.
it has not changed. I can tell you that right now.
Mm.
Okay, and um do you feel like Diamond has done a good job of trying to mediate between the two of you, considering the animosity that exists between you and the sister friend?
Uh, Diamond, just because I'm older does not mean that I can't listen. Diamond is shoot, I got Diamond by what 8 years I think or something like that. But um, Diamond sometimes is my voice of reasoning because when the sister friend comes up, you know, I be like, no, I'm not dealing with her, but but Bay, you gotta be like this. I'm like, okay, all right, So we don't really discuss her. We don't discuss her
Right.
at all because the whole thing is when it comes down to it, it is about, and this is what I tell Diamond all the time. It's about our happiness. It is not about her. It's
Mm-hmm.
not about her. So if we make she has nothing to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. You can't you
Right.
can't you can't be happy, and this is across the board. No matter what you do, you cannot listen to people. If you listen to people, if I listen to people, I would have never came to California. California was the best move I made. Uh, if you listen to people, you'll never do nothing because everybody has an opinion, and people are quick to tell you that you can't do something that they couldn't do because you couldn't do it. I can't do it. One of my favorite shows I used to watch on TV said, "The world don't move with the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. It takes different strokes to move the world. We gonna be different. We can't. You feel me? We not. You can't go on what other people tell you to do. You have to do what's in your heart to do. Let me go biblical with you 1 second. The Bible says, "Lean not into thine own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge Him, and let Him direct the path." Don't listen to other people. Let Him direct it. I can't go
Mm-hmm.
on other people. If I go on other people, then I would never get anywhere. And notice this. And I'm gonna tell you this. Notice this. If you call a person with good news, like, girl, I got some good news. Or check this out, man, I got some good news. They'll listen to a piece of your good news, and that phone ring. They'll call you right back. Have some bad news, some drama. They will not get off the phone with you. They say, hold on, don't hang up. I'm calling. Hold on, because they don't want you. They want to hear the drama. People are attracted to people's downfalls.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
They
that's
want to
true.
hear your downfall. They don't want to hear your
Yeah.
goodness. They don't want
Mm-hmm.
to hear it. So
There's a
all
lot of
you can do, that's it. All you can do is go out there and be great. I do what I do. I started a business from nothing and made it huge on my own. And I don't give myself all the glory. I give God the glory for what I do. I make mistakes and I try to correct those mistakes because a man that makes one mistake and doesn't correct it makes two. So I try to correct those mistakes, and that's all I can do. So the world can have a view of Aaron H. and how he should be, and he ain't nothing, and he don't deserve Diamond, and he tried to do another woman, and he's an abuser. They can have all those things, but when all said and done, it's me that got to go in those pearly gates and talk to God about what happened, not you. Not my mother, not my brother, not my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in need of prayer. So I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do and make it happen. And Diamond got to do the same thing, and we in agreement. So when two touch and agree, baby,
Mm-hmm.
when two touch and agree.
mm. You're not gonna tell us. I mean, I hear mention of this business, and you're not gonna mention, or will you come back and tell us later after the show is over? What type of business you're in?
Oh,
Are
I'll tell
you?
you what type
Yeah.
of business I am. I got quick hauling.
Okay.
Quick Hauling LLC. What that is basically I tell people I'm a glorified garbage man is what I am. Now in
Okay.
Detroit, now I'm explaining this to you because you live in Detroit, so in Detroit is different. You know, in Detroit, when people say if they move and they got a bunch of stuff in their house left in their house, you know, my Detroiters is keen for putting the stuff out in front of their house or putting it in the next door neighbor house or throwing it in a lot somewhere or something like that. In
Right, right.
California, you cannot do that. You cannot do
Illegal
that.
dumping
You
is called here. Right.
That's
You're right.
illegal dumping. It's illegal dumping here too. But the difference is you better not do that here. If you're moving out of a house, you better clear that house with nothing in it. So they have to
Okay.
have a guy like me to come out and clear it. So I go out and I clear these houses. I not only work for the regular residents of California, I also work for Kern County. I also work for Edwards Air Force Base. I also work for California City Prison. I also work for
Ooh, you
realtors.
got those government contracts? Oh my
Oh, oh,
goodness.
oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, you know, I started off with nothing. When I got here, I didn't know what I was going to do. You know, California is very high to live at. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't really have no money, no
Mm-hmm.
nothing. But I had a pickup truck. I had a pickup truck. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go on Facebook and I'm going to put got truck wheel haul. And somebody called me and they said, hey, I got a refrigerator and two couches that need to be taken to the dump. How much you charge to take that? Well, I went and got it. Took me about 5 minutes loaded. And she said, how much you going to charge me? I didn't know what to charge. I come from Detroit. What am I supposed to say? $20? Because, you know, Detroit ain't going to pay no money for that, nothing like that. I said, well, I
Mm-hmm.
tell you what. You make me an offer. The lady said, I give you $200. Almost saying it. $200
Ooh.
to take this to the dump? Oh, I might
Ah,
have something here. So I
yeah,
took
there
it to
you
the dump. I
go.
thought listen. I thought I was a billionaire, but the $200, what? So listen,
I heard that.
I I went from 200. I started making about. I'll be honest with you. I started making about $600 a month, which is not nothing, but it was a lot to me at the time. I was like, I'm making $600 a month. Well, I kept going and kept going till I went from $600 a month to maybe $600 a week, and then I went from $600 a week to maybe $1,000 a week. Then I went from $1,000 a week to I'm making $2,000-3,000 a day,
Hey.
a day. And I'm still going up from there. Everybody in California knows my business and they stand on it. So I'm
Right.
called all the time, all the time. So yes, I have a very big, good business here, and I absolutely
Awesome.
love it. And I thank God because he gave me a thought. But I was a business owner in Detroit too. If you still in Detroit, right? I don't know if you go around 6 Mile and Schaefer
Oh
area.
yeah.
There
Yeah.
there's a baby store there named Now Is Yours.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Now Is Yours. It used to be across the street from a Chase Bank and all that. That was my building, and my ex still runs that. But I had Now Is Yours. I had a Quick Cycle motorcycle shop. I bought the school that was on Davidson and Schaefer. I forgot the name of the school. It had 44 classrooms. I bought that school. Bought another building. I owned 25 houses. So I was a business
Wow.
owner in Detroit too. But when I left there with nothing.
Oh
X
wow.
got it all.
Yeah, I was getting ready to
But
say,
I
so you left that for
yeah,
her.
yeah, X got it all, but I rebuilt here. I built it like $6 million. I built it bigger and better. The $6 million man,
You know
bigger
what? That's
and better.
something though that God gives you a vision and He gives you a gift. You can take that gift and, like you said, you can plant that person almost anywhere, and especially here in America. And that gift can just grow and prosper. And you found your place. You found your location in California.
Well, I can tell you this: when I was young and people asked me what I wanted to be, I never said a garbage man. I, but you got to think about this now. I've talked to kids now. Matter of fact, if there's a school here, they invite me every year to come up and speak to the kids on business. That's how great I am here. But I tell them this. I say you can take any business and you might look at it sideways now. You look
Hmm.
at garbage. You say nobody wants to be a garbage man. Oh yeah, well waste management is $1 billion a year industry. Waste
Okay.
management, that's garbage.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely that.
Yeah. So hey, don't down, and you can take any business to a whole nother level, to a whole nother level, and that's exactly what I tried to do. So yeah, I'm prepared for for a wife or whatever is going to come my way. I'm prepared for that. You know, a lot of these guys these days, and what's the name, JR? You probably know about this. A lot of these guys these days, they go out and they wanna start a relationship with a woman, and they're not even prepared for the relationship, because with a relationship comes responsibility, and that comes responsibility of a man. And you have to take these women out, wine them and dine them. I'm not saying that they trying to use you, but that's just a part of being a man in a relationship. So if you can't do these things, you can't provide, you can't take them out, you can't help them out and stuff like that, then why are you trying to jump into a relationship? You can't afford it. You need to first take care of yourself. Now don't get me wrong, because I tell my daughters the same thing. I tell them, I want you to want a man, not need one. Wanting and needing is two different things. You see, a drug addict needs drugs, and an alcoholic needs alcohol. And if they don't have these things, they get sick. They can't handle themselves. So if you need a man and a man pulls out on you, you can end up in the dirt, homeless somewhere. You want a man to be able to take care of you and be a man that he's supposed to be. But if something happens to that man, you don't need him. You got this yourself. So if he pulls out, you still straight. That's why I teach my daughters.
Okay.
Okay. Are any of your
Want
children,
them, don't need them.
Are any of your children there in California with you?
No, the closest one, I got one daughter that moved to Arizona. She's 5 hours away. That's when my little granddaughter, that's 5.
Oh, okay. Oh, she's got to
Yeah,
be
I'm a grandpappy.
adorable.
I've got a question.
Yeah, they all. Go ahead, JR.
Yeah, so I like hearing what you just said. Do you think that men need women?
Yeah, absolutely. Come on now.
I agree.
No, I mean,
100%.
unless you're gay or something, then maybe no. But yes, we need. Yes, we need women, and men that walk around and say that I don't need no woman, just like women say I don't need no man. Yes, you do. We listen. We were put on this earth to need and want each other. That's the way it's presented in the Bible. That's the way it is. We need women. Come on, that we need that nourishment. Men may want to stand up as tall and as hard as they is, but don't forget it's a woman that bring the hardest men down. We need a good woman, but we need that woman. We need that support. We need that love. We need that when we down, that woman helps lift us up, you know, and encourages us to move forward. There's a story that I hear all the time, and I love it. When the man when they had the pool full of alligators, and the guy said, "Hey, whoever jump in this pool full of alligators and swim across to the other side gets $1 million." Well, as soon as he said that, a guy jumps in and he swims his life away to the other side. He makes it to the other side, and they give him $1 million. And when they talked to him about it, they said, "Man, what made you do it?" He said, "I didn't do it. My wife pushed me in." And the moral of that story is, behind every good man, there's a woman that pushes you. Okay.
You're a mess. You's a mess, as I like to say. You's a mess, and I'm over here hollering.
Yeah. The reason why I asked is because that's obviously how I believe the same thing, right? And that's the difference in the attitude and mindset to men and women in a lot of situations. More like men actually need a woman, and we're hearing more and more these days. Women don't necessarily need men, so it definitely impacts the way that you communicate, understand, relate to each other, and support each other as well. So
women definitely need men as well. But now I do have to say, because I'm old school, these newer women don't seem the same way. They seem more so after the dollar. You could say hi to a woman, and as soon as you say hi, they say, "When you gonna buy me a Coach purse?" I don't understand that. I don't even know you. But you know, they seem not to know what they want or not be satisfied. You know, they never satisfied. They're always going to the next thing. Now wait a minute, I got a story for that one. I got a story for everything. I got a story for that one too. So there was a building, and the building had 7 floors. And on the outside of the building, it said "men for sale." So the woman goes in there, and on the first floor, it said "men for sale." She said, "Well, let me go see what's on the second floor." So on the second floor, it said "men for sale that love the Lord." She said, "Oh my God, let me see what's on the third floor." On the third floor, it said "men for sale that love the Lord and love kids." On the fourth floor, she went to. It said men for sale that love the Lord, love kids, and is a great provider. She said, oh my God, let me see what's on the fifth floor. The fifth floor said men for sale that love kids, love the Lord, good provider, and good love maker. She said, oh my God, it's got to get better on the sixth floor. On the sixth floor, it said men for sale that love kids, love the Lord, good provider, good love maker, and is a good humanitarian, has a great job. She said, my God, it's got to get better on the seventh floor. On the seventh floor, I opened up the door. It said, on the seventh floor, the door opened. It says 5 million women have been to this floor. This proves that women are never satisfied. This proves that women are never satisfied. Because she want to keep going up the floors.
Yeah, that's problematic. That is problematic because I think
Yeah.
I heard I was sold a couple of floors before her. So yeah. I think that
You see
is
what I'm saying?
I
So,
think that is an issue. I think that is an issue. But you know what? I actually think it's on both sides, men and women, because let's say, for example, with men, it may not be that. It may be the beauty, the booty, physical things, physical characteristics. And he's got a good looking girl. His friends are talking him up. Man, your woman's so fine. She the finest out of all of our women or whatever. And he thinks he's going to move on to the next one and the next one that looks better. And what is he really looking for? So, it got to
well,
go both ways.
you got to realize with physical, everybody is going to change as they get older. You're going to get
Exactly.
wrinkles. You're going to get gray hair. Things are going to drop, going to turn, this and that and the other. So you can't get caught up in the physical part of it, or else you're really probably never going to be satisfied. Now watch this. You've heard a lot of things about me tonight. You got more of an insight to Aaron H. Okay, you heard a lot of things about me. Now I'm considered to many women to be a good man. Now watch this. Now let's talk about the physical. So I got all these things going for me, but you're not going to talk to me. Why? Because my nails are painted. Oh, I get that all the time. All the time. All the time. All the time. I love it. I love it though. I get it all the time. I said, so let me ask you something. I said, you single, right? Yeah. Okay. So no man that you have ever talked to has had painted nails, right? Nope. No man that you even went out with has had painted nails, right? Right. How well did that work out for you?
Ooh.
The definition of insanity is to do the same things and think you're going to get a different result. Maybe you need to try something different.
Try something
Maybe
different.
you need to try something different. So don't let my nails fool you. And now since we on my nails right quick, let me address that because that has been said. I've heard it.
Yeah.
I like to poke the bear sometimes. I like to be different. And whatever it does for people to start talking crap, I love it. So when I first did it, which 2 females taught me into it, it wasn't even my hands, it was my feet, because my feet is painted too, by the way. But it wasn't even my hands, it was my feet. And what happened was I put it on Facebook. White people, oh, that's cool. Chinese people, oh, that's great. Oriental people, that's freaking cool. Black people, that's gay. Now, the problem that I have with my black folk is this. We are always hollering about oppression. Oh, we oppress. Don't nobody oppress us like we oppress each other. If y'all say we free, then we free to do what we want to do. Why are y'all always dictating what we can and can't do? You ain't supposed to do this. You can't do that. This is this way and that is that way. No, I'm free to do what I want to do. If I got a house, I don't have to put my bed in the bedroom because y'all call it a bedroom. I can put my bed in the kitchen if I want to because it's my house. I can do that. Okay? So with my nails, I started painting my nails. They was just plain at first. It was just like a plain color. That wasn't good enough for me. I started designing them. I done got rhinestones. I done did everything. If you don't believe me, go on my Instagram. I got all kind of pictures of me, my hats, and these nails. Okay, I do it. But They say dare to be different. I take that challenge and I master it. And I don't care what nobody say because my nails does not change my sexuality. I tell women all the time, if I take you to Macy's right now and I put you in a man's suit and some Stetsons, does that make you a lesbian? No. So what makes you think because my nails is painted, which men started painting their nails first in 1300 BC, and everything just goes back around in circle again. So we the one that started with the nails, just like a lot of people don't know that Uggs was a man's boot first, even though I don't wear Uggs, but that was a man's boot. That was not a female's boot. But everything goes around in circle. What makes you think that changed my sexuality? It doesn't. I'm still the man. I'm just a man with his nails painted.
Quick question on that.
Mhm.
Is that like a typical date or something that you and Diamond bond over? You can both go and get mani-pedis together.
Me,
That's a good one.
well, if you notice on the show, my nails was black, and I had one nail the same color as Diamond's nail, so we match up all the time. We match up.
Wow.
I done had everything. I done had white, pink. The only thing I ain't had is red because I don't really like red like that. Blue, orange, I done had every color in the book. I can't even pick a color now that I don't. It's no color that I ain't had already.
Now, for clarification, Aaron H., when you say you've had everything, you do just mean with the nails, right?
Yeah, with the nails. What did you think I'm talking about?
Okay. And listen, let me tell you something. The one thing I didn't think when people were talking about you early on about the first episode, when they saw your nails were polished, it never felt like to me that you were pansexual, bisexual, or gay. And I respect
No,
your right and your preference to if you want to paint your nails. Now, is it something that I would prefer for my guy to do? Not exactly, but I respect
it
your
ain't for
right.
everybody.
It ain't for
It,
everybody.
it's not for everybody. Like I said, the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. Like it's like the women that talk about these women out here that got BBLs. Why they got fake this and fake that. And this is what I tell them. I say, how can you talk about her butt is fake when you got on fake lashes, fake nails, weave? You got all kind of fake stuff on you. But you just
We're
gonna
not
point out
talking
her
about
butt is
fake
fake?
eyelashes. We're not talking about fake eyelashes this weekend. Thanks to Representative Crockett. We're not talking. No, but go ahead.
Right. But the whole thing is not for everybody. But this is what I say: the person that's for you is
Yes.
going to be for you. They're not going to try to change you. They're going to like everything about you, no matter what that is. They for you. If you have to change yourself, then that person isn't for you. Because I shouldn't have to change myself. Neither should Diamond, neither anybody else. Whatever way you is, whatever flaws that you think you have, that's why they say love is blind. Because when you fall in love with somebody, you don't see no flaws. But notice, when you fall out of love, you start seeing all kind of stuff. I don't like the way her second toe is bigger than her first toe.
As if she can control it.
You start seeing everything. Yeah, you start seeing everything then. But as long as you're in love, you don't see it. But when me and Diamond started talking, she knew about my nails and stuff. She absolutely loved it. She said, I love it, babe, because she liked me being different and she liked the confidence. Yeah, I've heard people say something about my nails, but I don't really get the whole gay thing like Aaron J did because I don't have that demeanor.
No.
I don't have that demeanor. Yeah, my nails are painted, but my demeanor is not like that.
No.
Because I'm all man, baby. I can tell you that right now. I'm deep baby.
So I got a couple of questions. So okay, so just a quick one. This is just a mild question. Like your whole attraction to the feet, like Diamond's feet and everything like that. Like, does it matter whether it's freshly manicured or are you taking it all athletic, calloused corns? Like, does it matter the condition of the feet before you go in?
Oh, JR.
Did you see Boomerang?
Yeah, I did.
I did too.
That's me. Okay, that's me. That's me. I'm gonna look at the feet. I don't want no ugly feet now. But yes, I am a feet man. And for some of the people that looked at it like, oh, that's nasty, it's nasty. Maybe some of them has never had their toes sucked on, or kissed on, or licked on, or caressed. I mean, you like to think about this. They like to go to the nail salon and have them rubbing their feet and all that kind of stuff. Well, it's the same thing, I do the same thing. Except I'm gonna kiss them and suck them and keep rubbing them and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell the ladies out there, if you've never been made love to and he's sucking your toes at the same time, you missing something. Okay, that's gonna be a whole nother flavor for you. But yeah, I've always been a feet man. To see a woman in some nice heels with her toes out, or to see a woman in some nice sandals with her toes out. And I said it on the show. I said we could be walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and I would get down on the ground and kiss Diamond's feet. I will. I don't care who's looking. I don't care.
Wow.
Yep, I do not care. I do not care.
You have cemented my goal and my future plan to open up my what is it, OnlyFans or fans only page? I forget what it's called, but it's going to be dedicated to my feet, because I've had men literally stop me in public, and it's embarrassing but flattering at the same time. I did not realize that so many men were into feet like that.
Listen, you better do it. You better do it. Now I'm gonna tell you this one. I'm gonna leave it alone. There's a site for that, and I sold a picture of my feet for $500. A picture.
All right, guys, enjoy my YouTube channel while you can, because I may be closing up shop.
A picture.
It's been good, John. It's been real.
There is men out there that, everybody got a different fetish that they have, but there's men out there that absolutely love feet. It's many of them out there, many of us out there that are feet guys. We like women's feet. If they pretty and they could be, if they manicured and all that kind of stuff, that's great. Now I don't want to see them and they look like Eagles claws. So
you sure about that?
I'm an Eagles fan. I'm an Eagles fan, but I don't want to see no Eagles claws. But as long as they nice looking feet, manicured, especially in some heels. Oh my goodness, yeah. Come on now.
You ladies out there, some of y'all don't know what y'all missing, but hey, like he said, there's different beats and different drums for different people, right?
That's it. That's it.
What about being on the receiving end? If Diamond wanted to suck your toes, if she had like this. Is that something you would endorse as well, or is it just you giving pleasure to her?
I'm going to say she would, but I'm not into that. I'm into giving pleasure more than I am receiving it. I am definitely a pleasure giver. You don't really have to give me anything. I just like to do the giving the pleasure, and that's so. I'm the same way. I'm the same way across the board. Yep. I like for you to sit back and feel good. And let me tell you something. It's about intimacy for me. There is a difference between actual intercourse and actual being intimate. And I know the difference. A lot of men don't. I like the intimacy of everything. I want you to be able to sit back, and I want you to have the rose petals. Not the one of the ghetto girls I was with, and I put rose petals and stuff down. She said, "Why is all these weeds on the floor?" Okay, not like that. Somebody that understands intimacy. I like to take you out on a picnic with a regular picnic basket and throw a blanket down. When I take a woman to the movies, I don't even know if you could see it, but I keep my Eagles blanket. I keep a blanket in my car, because when I go to the movies, I break out with a blanket. So you'll be comfortable. I'm always thoughtful when it comes to a woman or what they want. I keep Kleenex in my car. I keep the things in the car that if Diamond gets in here, that she's comfortable. I'm into making her feel comfortable as possible at all times.
Okay, cool.
But me getting it, you ain't gotta do that.
Okay, last question related to the show. Does it look like we viewers may possibly get a reunion show with this, a reunion episode?
Could be not. Who's to say? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I know it will be funny, because I don't know if you guys know, if you've been keeping up, but Aaron J and Dominic is into it.
No, wait a minute. Aaron J, the other Aaron and Dominique are into it?
You didn't know that?
Nah, I got a life outside of this YouTube channel.
Listen, you have to go. I don't know Aaron's Instagram offhand, but if you go to Aaron's Instagram.
He actually followed me over on Instagram. I got it.
Okay, well he done made a whole diss rap song against Dominic.
Ooh,
Okay.
what for? What for? Did he spurn his
I I
advances? Did Dominic spurn his
I
advances
don't.
or something?
I listen. I don't know the gist of why it took place. All I know is I'm like, what the heck is this? So he made a diss song, and Dominic went on there and told him that he was gonna break his jaw or something, or knock the earrings out of his ear. I don't know, something like that. And then some girl kicked in, was talking crap about Dominic. It's just a whole big mess going on with them two. Now there was a little beef going on with me, um, Diamond, and Shay, but that has since then been squashed. I
Hey,
don't I
wait
don't
a
have
minute.
anything against Shay.
I gotta ask because
Neither
something's
does
going
Diamond.
on. Wait a minute, hold on one second. I gotta ask my co-host. Are you on live right now on Instagram?
Yep, and you're on there too.
Okay, okay. All right. I just wanted to know. Um, okay. JR, you had any more questions? Oh,
Um,
and I got one last one for him. But go ahead.
yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
on. You go. You go.
No, no,
Ladies first.
I want this to be the last question, so you go ahead.
Okay, so obviously a reunion hasn't been filmed yet, so it probably looks like 2 years after the fact we might not get one. But out of the couples, did you see most of them actually succeeding long term? Like, so not just your own with relationship with Diamond, but did you see like Millie and Greg, Chris and Sandia? Did you see them potentially lasting a long time?
You're asking, can I see them long term, or did I see them?
Yeah,
What are you asking?
yeah. Did you see them when you first initially spent time in the house 2 years ago with them? Did you like? Can you see them still being together today at this point where we are now?
Chris and Sandia, no. Millie and Greg, yes. I could see them long term. Aaron and Joanna, no. I've never seen that. Uh, what's called them, Dominic and Alexis wasn't in the house long enough for me to even.
Jay and Josh,
I wasn't even down there when that happened, so I definitely didn't see that. And who else is left? Oh,
Jay and Josh.
Brandon and Sienna. Well, yeah, I seen them. I seen them long term. Shay and Josh, yes, I seen. So only one I really didn't see long term. Well, two that I didn't see long term was Chris and
Sandia,
Sandia,
the
and
Quiet Storm.
yeah, the Quiet Storm, and Aaron and Jody. Them the only two I didn't see
Okay.
long term.
Okay.
Everybody else seemed to be pretty cool to me.
Okay. Do you feel like Taronda and the therapist were great additions to the show? Do you feel like they helped out?
I liked her. I loved her on Empire because that was one of my favorite shows. Yes, yes. Taronda was really nice and sweet, and very beautiful in person. I thought she was pretty and fun on Empire, but she's very beautiful in person. I think that she did a great job in hosting the show. I look forward to maybe working with her again in the future at some point in time, maybe running into her or something, because whatever happens, it probably won't be the last you'll see me at Diamond. But um, the therapist, I didn't see the therapist, or I didn't see her when she came in, but
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
quite sure on the show we're gonna talk to somebody eventually.
Right.
I guess they're gonna call us to talk to somebody. I don't know, but I
Right.
didn't see her when she came in. They didn't call us to talk to her.
Okay.
Right.
And for my final question is, do you feel like Diamond did a great job of covering and protecting you with regards to her sister friend when she was going at you? Like, do you feel like Diamond explained the situation well enough and like kind of tried to clear up the situation so that she could, like, the sister friend could see you in a better light?
Uh, from what I've seen, you got to realize that what y'all seen is what I seen. I didn't know what she had said or what she didn't say. until I actually seen the show myself. Now she told me
Hmm.
what she said, but I didn't know. But for what I've seen, yeah, she did the best to her ability. She explained to her sister that, hey, this is who I'm gonna be with. Yes, he can take care of me and stuff like that. And her sister
Hmm.
was on level 10, and well, Diamond actually did what I should have did. She stayed calm and she just, and she said no, and she didn't yell or nothing like that, which I commend her for. I'm not upset with her at all in the way she handled it. I should have really took took her deal and did the same thing, but I did not. So I really look back at that and hate that I didn't do it. I really should have sat back, let her own self look crazy by herself, but now we both look crazy.
Right. Okay. That's it for me, bro. It was great talking to you, bro. Aubrey.
Yeah.
You too.
Okay.
Anytime, Jr.
All right. Well, yeah. No, my question had to do with Uh, was there ever a time? I know you said you've done comedy. You've spoken about your comedy. Was there ever any other type of entertainment that you may have done? And is there something? So, would you like to elaborate on it before we go?
Well, I did comedy. Ordained minister. Uh, I was a male dancer.
That's where I was going. Thank you for taking us there. So, what was your
Yeah.
stage name? What was your stage name, Aaron?
Long, Long Island.
Oh my, oh
I did
my.
because you stay in Detroit. You may have ever. I don't know if you ever traveled to Canada. There's a place in
Of
Canada
course,
called Danny's.
oh, of course.
Okay, Danny's. They dance butt naked. That's why I danced that.
That is correct.
Yeah. That's back when I had a 6 pack. I got like a 20 pack now, so I would. Hey, if you notice, I was in the jacuzzi with my shirt on. I said, no, I'm not taking my shirt off. Y'all crazy. I
Oh.
was like, no. I was like, absolutely not.
Long
No,
Island. I'm
no,
gonna
no.
remember that. I'm gonna call some of my
Yeah,
girlfriends that used to go over to Danny's and find out if they remember you or not.
I sure did. I did some daddies in Canada. That was back in my early 20s.
Yeah, yeah. We were all young once.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
That
did
was
that, and
back.
I did I did
That, that was
I did
back before
private
you
parties.
even. Yeah, oh, okay. Oh my. I don't even
Yeah, I
want to
did
ask you about
like
that.
bachelorette parties and all that kind of stuff. I remember one
Oh,
time.
okay.
This
Uh-oh.
is a funny story. I remember one time because I also did kids parties. When you come up, it goes to show you how
Wait
far
a
back this
minute.
was.
Wait.
You
You
come.
did dancing kid parties?
No. Do you remember back in the day when Barney was out and all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah. Like as a cartoon character.
What,
Yeah.
what, yeah, well, I came as cartoon kid. I came as Barney to kids parties and stuff like that. Well, one time I got called because I worked for an agency. So the agency called me for an adult party, but they told me it was a kids party. So I had my Barney costume on, but when I got there, I found out it was an adult party. I didn't know what I was gonna do. So what I did was I went outside and I took off all my clothes and I put the Barney.
Went in there and danced as Barney, but I came out of the costume.
Wow.
And
Oh my
when I got
gosh.
done, they said, "We love you, Barney."
And what you say? I love you too. Sounds kind of sick about that.
Oh God, I'd never forget that one.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
Lord.
Okay. Okay, we
Okay.
gotta let you down now. I have enjoyed you, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Let me see. I want to get a couple of these up here on the screen real quick. Our chat family has enjoyed you. They're saying hit the like button. Where was it at? Okay. Oh, Aaron, thank you so much. Miss Wilson says thank you. She appreciates you. We definitely appreciate your transparency because, like I said, you were very courageous tonight. You made us laugh, but you also gave us some things to think about, and that everybody is not different in how men want to express themselves, whether it be with nail polish. If that's not your cup of tea, that's not your cup of tea, right?
Right.
But
Exactly.
if it is, it doesn't necessarily make a guy gay.
what to add on to that? You think about this. You got entertainers. You got especially the Caucasian entertainers and punk rockers. They've been doing that for years. It's
Yeah,
nothing new.
they have. And I
Yeah, it's
was
nothing
really
new.
into punk rock. I think that's maybe why it doesn't bother me like that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, Aaron, we thank you once again. Kiki suggests that maybe you come back and do a part two after the
Well,
season is over.
I tell you what. If you
Hmm.
got to remind me, and for those people that's listening, you can always. I'm old school, so I don't be on. I got Instagram and all that, but I really be on Facebook. So if you go to my Facebook page, which is Aaron Howard again, and it'll say Mr. Quick. So you know it's me. I usually always have on my Eagles stuff because I'm an Eagles fan. So if you go there and you friend me or whatever, but if you hit me on my Facebook or PM me and remind me that the show is coming, I'll come on here every day, every week and explain to you what went down.
Okay,
Cool.
absolutely, absolutely. We appreciate that. With that said, thank you so much. You have a wonderful week, and we really appreciate you, Aaron.
Oh, you welcome anytime, anytime. And you too, Jr.
Oh, hey, bro. Good, great to have you on. And yeah, we'll touch base soon, brother.
All right, so don't now next week when I listen, don't be talking about me now.
It depends what you get up to, bro. It depends on the shenanigans, all right?
All right.
All right. Take care, Aaron.
All
Thank you.
right, you too. All
All
right, you
right.
welcome.
Bye now. Wow. He stayed. He stayed, and I really enjoyed him. I really
Mhm.
enjoyed his visit. Some people say unpopular opinion. One person said they enjoyed him. Uh, they wanted to let you know, Jr., that you had a great question toward the end there. uh hey, it is what it is. Like, everybody's not for everybody. You're not going to like all of these characters. You're going to have some favorites, and maybe you're going to have some people that are not your favorite. And I got the general sense. The one thing I will ask him when he comes back is, a lot of people in the chat seem to feel like, and you tell me what you think about this, JR, that Aaron H was harder on the women than he was, and specifically, I guess, Jody, than he was on Dominique or on Chris. What do you think, Jr.?
Yeah, I seem, he didn't like Jody, but he liked Chris. So I think that's the difference. Um, when he sits around talking with the guys, he doesn't seem to have a particular person that he doesn't get along with. But he definitely feels like the relationship between Jody and Aaron is is down to the fact that Jody's controlling him, and he doesn't like that. There's something about, I think I'm not putting words in his mouth or anything, but if you listen to the fact that the previous relationship all those years ago was kind of like a controlling, abusive situation for him, then I think him speaking out when he sees the other Aaron on the receiving end of Jody trying to distance herself and all these other different things,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of why he speaks up for him, because he sees him as like the man who should be more vocal, but he's not. He's being suppressed in a way.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. El Cid saying he likes to argue with women. He said at that point with the sister, I guess he said he just took her as a person at that point, because Al said, I don't know about you, but that lady did go after his mother, his father, and his children. He had left the room even, and she's hollering and screaming in the other room, talking about his
Exactly.
whole family. Like, you know what?
Yeah. And even Phil with the Jody situation, he didn't just automatically pop off. In fact, he left Diamond to deal with that situation. And it was only when Diamond said she didn't feel like he had her back, that's when he powered back into the room and then went off on Jody. So he didn't initially want to pop off on the women at all. He left Diamond and Jody to hash it out. But Diamond felt alone because none of the guys stepped up. And Diamond even made the point that all the men are weak. because they didn't say anything, or the women were weak as well because they didn't support her either. No one said anything. But
Yeah,
you know,
I kind of disagree with Diamond's logic though on that, JR, because like I said again, I said earlier in this podcast, if you're going to step to someone and you're going to confront them about, whatever the situation and scenario is, that you're fake or you are over here flirting with this other woman who is very meek and mild mannered, but is known in the house as the quiet storm. Uh, if you're going to do that, if you're going to confront somebody, then stand 10 toes down in it. Don't make it about what your friend said yesterday, what your man said 10 minutes ago. Make it about what you really believe and go from
mm,
there. Like, I'm not going to
right,
come confront you because Joe Blow said XYZ. I'm not going to do that. If I'm going to confront you, I'm going to confront you because I have a principle that I believe in. And I want to know, I would like for you to explain, this is what I'm feeling and this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? What's going on? Can you explain this to me? And we'll go from there. I'm not going to,
right,
I'm not going to come with, I got to bring my brother, my cousin, my sister. No, it was two women. It was two women.
mhm,
It's a fair fight. It's a fair argument.
right,
You know.
right. But
But
again, with the situation with the sister friend, like I can see why he went off on her because again, I'm not condoning it, but he did hear everything that she was saying, which were very disparaging remarks in the next room, and he's there with his friends. So all of his friends hearing all this too. Like his friend's been brought there to meet Diamond, and they're in the
right.
room chilling, and they're overhearing Diamond's friend going off on him, completely trashing him, tarnishing him. So from what we saw when he went into the room, he still didn't immediately pop off. He stood there, unbeknownst to the friend, because he was right behind her. She was
Mhm.
still going off on him,
She
and he
was.
stood there and he heard everything right there, and then that's when everything went left. So
Yeah, it's
in
it's
that
a lot.
situation, a lot of people will say, yeah, he likes to argue with women. Yeah, he does. He's gonna stand up for himself. I think we can see that,
Hmm.
and he's gonna express his opinion. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, then it don't
You don't.
matter. As they say.
Yeah. What do you think? Going outside of him and kind of coming back on thread to the notes here. What did you think about Sandia and Chris meeting up with Dr. Romney? What did you think about that counseling session?
I think Chris found it hard to take the feedback. I
Hmm.
he he kind of seemed like he wanted to express his side of things, but ultimately it's Sandia that's getting the rough end of the deal in the situation. So he was told to be more empathetic and listen,
Mm-hmm.
and you know whether that's going to solve all of their problems, I don't know. But he seemed to me to be pretty skeptical that that's all it needs. But again, he said he's down for it. He um didn't say he wouldn't try and make it better.
Right.
So yeah, it's
What?
probably much needed because she doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
like Aaron said, like she's the quiet storm. She hardly says much, which means when she does speak, then it's more important to listen. She's not someone who's like running off at the mouth all the time, like Jodie or Sienna or one of them. So when she does raise up and speak, she has the confidence to speak. Then I think it's worth Chris listening to a lot more.
I was a little concerned when they were describing what was going on in their relationship to Dr. Ramani. I was a little concerned how he characterized her as being overly emotional and talking about things. Now, sure, we haven't seen all their conversations, but everything we've seen thus far with her talking to him, she's been very calm, cool, and collected, and expressing that she felt like he was doing too much and giving too much attention to Jody. She didn't holler, she didn't scream, she didn't curse, she didn't call him a biche, right? So, like, I'm really confused as to how he figures, at least according to what we've seen, that when she relays things to him, her feelings, that she's being overly emotional. And I've said this to you all along. I think this guy can't deal with any kind of emotions. I think he's very closed off and he's very unemotionally available to her and anybody else.
Right. I think he doesn't like the fact that she's insecure, and I think he sees that as her controlling who he speaks to.
Okay.
I don't think he understands the severity. Like when he says Jodie is his favorite person in the house,
Oh,
and this is why Millie got pissed as well, because your girl should be the favorite person in the house. That's who
exactly.
you're there to connect with.
Yeah, exactly.
But
That's very low
that's the problem.
emotional intelligence right there. Now that's very low emotional intelligence. For him to have said that in front of his girl, and they got a new budding relationship. This is their first week they've seen each other and met, and then you've already bonded over here with this other chick, and you're saying she's your favorite. I would have left. I would have left. You got
Exactly. So
a lot of
you
patience.
couple yeah, right. So you couple that with him saying that she's his favorite person in the house. You also had Jodie saying, as we spoke about earlier, that he is the most romantic person in the house. Then that's going to obviously make Sandia feel like, hey, what's going on here? And the other couples in the house hearing and seeing their interactions will have the same thing. But he seems to be playing like he doesn't take it he doesn't take it on board what everyone's saying, because deep down he knows that he's not attracted to Jodie. He likes her personality, but he ain't attracted to her physically enough for him to jeopardize what he has with Sandia.
Right, right. And I don't think he likes the loud woman at all. He
Nah,
doesn't
that's
like
what I'm
a woman.
saying.
Yeah, that's not his thing. He's saying it's cultural, but I find it very interesting that when he and Sandia talk about this Haitian culture, she seems to think one way about Haitian men, and he seems to be the exact opposite of what she's describing as a Haitian man. So I'd really like to have a conversation with her, someone to have a conversation with her to say that in any culture, in any country, no matter how small, there's no such thing as a monolith. Like you're not going to find a man because let's say for example your dad's a good man and he's Haitian, right? You've grown up with him your whole life. He's loving, he's kind. He listens to you. He doesn't demean you. He doesn't dismiss your feelings. For you to assume that every other Haitian man is like your dad, that would be a problem.
Right. And I think the key difference is as well, like she may be basing her ideals off of her dad, but her dad was born in Haiti and probably spent a lot of time over there, whereas Chris is probably from a Haitian
Americanized.
background but born in America. Yeah, so he's grown up with an Americanized view of things. So the whole strip club and all the other things that he was talking about previously, he's
Excellent
he
point.
yeah he ain't the traditional Haitian man. He just has the culture, the
The
cultural
culture,
heritage.
the cultural
Yeah,
heritage. Exactly.
but
That's a very excellent point. Go ahead.
no. So I was gonna say like he's a hybrid.
Ah,
He's basically got the
hybrid
Haitian culture, but the American values.
sensibilities and values. Yeah.
Right.
Yes. There you go. Uh, and I'd be willing to bet there's men over in Haiti never step foot in America. And like I said, to my point, I just think that if you look at any culture, if it's large enough to have more than 100 people or even less, you're going to find different people. You can't assume because we all go to the same church and we worship on Sunday and we're Christians, let's say, for example, you can't all assume that all Christians have the same values. We grew up in different households. We grew up in different ways, and we're going to value some things that are different. Just that's it. That's all on period. It's just it's not. It's kind of but it's being naive to assume that. That's what I'm saying about her. I don't like that she keeps making these assumptions. Well, he's a Christian, you know. I don't know. Maybe it's me, but in my community of Christian folk, ain't a whole lot of Christian men that are claiming to love Jesus that are running around in the strip clubs like that. Maybe just me. So
Well, even more so, some of them run around in their congregation too. So it ain't even just a strip club. Some of them are doing some
Ooh.
shady thing.
Hey, now there you go, and that's it. That's it. So it's going to be a person by person thing. But here was the kicker. Do you recall, like, when Aaron just said that this man says that he doesn't even trust his own mother? Like,
Hmm.
yeah. If a man tells me he don't trust his own mother,
But
she
again, mothers are not a monolith. There are good mothers, there are bad mothers. Maybe he's had an experience that wasn't
okay,
positive and it stayed
okay.
with him,
And you
right?
know
So
what? You
there
that
must
is
be
a
a reason for that.
that well there may be because again some people's perceptions, like Aaron said, I really believe this. So your all of our perceptions are not factual. They're not all based in fact. Sometimes it becomes the emotion that clouds over things and you see your own reality. But to your point, that's a very good point. Maybe his mother is the woman that he doesn't trust. Like when we hear he saying that he has this experience with this woman, and not trying to be funny and say anything other than, but maybe it's his mom that he doesn't trust. Maybe I've always assumed that or presumed that it was a girlfriend, but maybe it goes all the way back to his early childhood. To your point, maybe she's not trustworthy, and maybe he's been
Yeah.
damaged by that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying it's an option,
Yeah,
but
we don't know, but but what happens is there are some cases where because the traditionally, I guess people assume that the mother son bond is strong and the father daughter bond is strong. Like if
yes,
there's a particular issue that takes place between either parent, then it affects the child differently. So if the mother and son are meant to be closer, and there's a issue with the way the mother has parented or something's taken place in that journey, then the son may be more adversely affected when he goes out into looking for a partner because he may not want to, um, have, he may not want to have a relationship with someone who typically displays the same behaviors as his mom did when he was growing up.
right. That's an excellent point. And also, let me see where was I at in my notes here. I love the two that the psychologist said to them, uh, for both of them to value each other and both of them to have empathy for each other, because for a moment Sandia had become Chris, and Sandia was saying, well, he says he's been hurt, but I don't know about that, and I don't know if I'm really falling for that. Dr. Romney said, well, wait a minute now. Empathy works both ways. You both have to
Mhm.
care about how the other person feels. I think that is a true thing, a thing that I've noticed this last few months in stories that we've been covering, the shows. I think I've noticed that, and I have to say, be fair for myself and say this, that sometimes as women, because in our minds, we see men as being these very strong protector providers, we also forget that men have feelings.
Mhm. Well, yeah. Sometimes I think it's forgotten, and sometimes I think it's deliberately overlooked.
Ooh,
Um, yeah, like depends. Some people prioritize and only care about how they think and feel, a- as opposed to what the guy they're with is going through or what he may think or feel. So,
okay.
um, and
That's
that's
fair.
why I asked the question as well. Like, that's why I asked the question when he was talking about women not necessarily needed men these days. Like he's grown his daughters up to make sure that they don't rely on or need a man. For men, it's different. For men, we definitely need women. We need you. We need a good woman, a good strong woman. Like you said, it's 100% correct. So that's why, again, the relationship dynamics they can they can they can manifest in different ways because we're kind of surplus to requirements in some situations. You're quick to say, I don't need you, or what I need you for, what you gonna do for me, or what do you bring to the table, all these different things. Um, and some guys do that, but there are still a lot of guys who traditionally they realize that they need men because that's the order of the. Sorry, men need women, and that's the traditional order of things. That's how it's meant to go.
Right, right. That's so true. What do you think about we see Jody in the next scene. Jody is talking to Sandia. She's kind of explaining things. I'm not trying to steal your man. I'm not going to even ask you what you think about that. Let's just skip over to the second part of it, where we find out in her Jody we find out in her confessional she calls herself a man eater. Do you know what a man eater is, JR?
A man eater, in my opinion, and from things I've seen, is a lady that basically will go through guys without necessarily caring or having an attachment to them. Basically, just clocking up the amount of guys that she deals with. Not necessarily at the same time either, but she's very quick to discard men. Like, she get with them for a purpose and then discard them when they're no longer, when they're surplus to requirement.
Mm-hmm.
So she pretty much explained her behavior on her confessional, or what she does. And that's the confusing thing, because she's in a relationship with Aaron J, and it's left him bamboozled. The sexologist, the man eater, he condones, like the one night stand situation, but yet there is absolutely no physical chemistry between him and her.
Right.
So he's puzzled. He's like, wow, does she even like me? Type thing, and I can see why he thinks that, because she just wants distance. She doesn't, even when they did the Japanese bondage challenge, she didn't even want to, like, hold hands, sit down, talk, do anything after that.
Yeah.
So, whereas the other couples, like, he was looking around at the other couples and they were embraces, like they were at least looking at each other's eyes or talking about the experience. But for him and Jody, she was just like, yep, listen, we've done the challenge. That's it. We've done our part. Nothing else.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really see it for Jody and Aaron J.
No. Do you think that it was reassuring? Do you think that Jody was trying to reassure Sandia for any particular reason about her not stealing her man, or like not having interest in him? And do you think she was being genuine?
Wait a minute, say that again. I'm sorry.
Do you think that when Jody was sitting with Sandia, do you think she was genuinely trying to, take down the suspicion levels about anything happening between Jody and Chris? Or do you think like it was like a self-preservation activity where she was trying to clear her side of it to not come across as like I won't use any derogatory terms, but the man-eater thing, like you could trying to calm that down. Yeah.
I felt it was performative. I'm just going to tell you, just honestly, as a viewer, I felt it was performative. I felt like, and I don't know if it was even called for by production, possibly, like, as they lead and narrate and set out a narrative, right? That maybe they pull Jody to the side and say, hey, we need you to go outside and sit at the picnic table with her and let her know that you're really not her enemy. But I felt it was very performative in either case. I didn't believe her, but at least they situated them where they were across from each other, as sometimes opponents are, as sometimes lovers are. Because what I can't stand is when they had, or when last week when we had Jody playing in Sandia's hair sitting next to her. I wanted to go through my TV screen at that point. Like, get your freaking hands off her. You're not her friend. You don't mean her well. You don't have good intentions. You are a man eater. So therefore, don't play in her hair. That's like adding insult to injury, right? That's the way I looked at it anyway.
Right. Yeah, because that would be a different level of cruelty, to sit down there and try and console her, but at the same time you still have visions for Chris in some capacity. That would be a different level of diabolical behavior.
Yeah,
So
that's a great word for it too. Diabolical. I like that. But fast forward because we covered all this stuff with Aaron, with him actually here. Shout out
mhm.
to Aaron H. Um, let's go ahead and just talk about what did we see for next week. Next week's things that we saw. What are we expecting? It looks like we've got next week. We got Aaron J saying that he feels like he's lost Jody's confidence to Jody, and Jody is basically saying yes. What's the rest of that scene? What do you think? What is your imagination leading you to think?
Well, I think the writing's on the wall for them. As I
Yeah.
say, they haven't connected the whole time they've been there. They've had enough time. They've had a couple of challenges, intimacy challenges, games, that couples have played. They've also had the opportunity to spend a lot of time together um, under one roof, and it just isn't clicking. So I think we might start to see that unraveling of that couple in the next episode or two.
Okay. Okay. And then also we have Millie is seeming to buck up again with Chris. Sounds like she's saying that she's tired of men who aren't being held accountable. Um, I don't know how that's going to end.
Well, we did see her call him a beach on this episode as well.
Yeah.
So she has definitely got some animosity for Chris. I think he comes across as someone you either like or you don't like. And definitely the women seem to be on the side of, they don't necessarily like him. Maybe it's his ego, maybe it's the way that he treats Sandia. But Millie's definitely becoming more and more invested and heated about the situation as well. It isn't just Diamond that had a problem. Remember, I think Diamond and Millie called Sandia over last episode to talk about the situation, the relationship.
Yeah, you're
So,
right. They did. They were
so
talking.
right. So that's the thing. When Diamond popped off and said that the whole house is talking, Millie didn't step up either and say, yes, we both sat down with Sandia and she's expressed this to us. Millie stayed quiet too. But she's got all the energy for Chris directly and personally when they interact with each other. So
Oh, okay. Last two things on the list to tick off before we shimmy and shake on out of here. D had a point. Put it back up on the screen. Although Aaron says that he didn't tickle Jody's girly parts, she says I didn't hear him say that she tickled his man parts either. So, any
yeah,
thoughts on that?
I don't think that would be palatable for him to really say she don't I don't think it works that way. Just like some
Uh,
things don't work for us men when we try to equate it to how what women do as well. Now that would have worked.
okay, okay.
Any type of reference like that, if a girl's not attracted to you, then it's creepy. It's you're leading with sex.
Well,
Why does she have to tickle your man parts? Can't she tickle other parts of you? Why it gotta be about sex all the time with men? That's the type of stuff that would
but we're
happen.
talking about a whole sexologist, a certified Jody is a sexologist now. Don't
So
forget
she
that.
claims. So she claims, and that's what's gonna make it more of a confusing time being around her, because that sexual nature that she does not apply. It's completely switched off and disconnected and nullified when she's around the person that she's actually meant to be connecting with. That's where the
Hmm.
confusion comes. It's like, how
Well,
you got all this energy for guys that you don't like and you're gonna just use them, your man eater, to all these other guys out here. But when it comes to actually applying that side of your personality in a relationship aspect, you've completely disconnected it. It's because you're not feeling it, brother. So if you're not feeling him, rather than string it out for the entire duration of the season, listen, you're not feeling him. You're underwhelmed. You didn't like the way he didn't open a wine bottle, whatever the case may be. He doesn't like, he doesn't like, what was it? She was eating pickles and nachos or whatever she was eating, like whatever the case may be.
Chicago
Yeah,
delicacies. Yes.
goodness gracious me. Yeah, so I'm like, if you're not feeling him, you need to just let him know. And conversely, people have picked up that he isn't necessarily feeling her either, as a lot of things have been intimated about him personally. So yeah, they need to just call it quits too. They don't need to string it out. If everyone in the house can see that there's no connection there, and they're quite vocal about it. And what we notice is that Jodie isn't saying, yes, there is a connection and I like him and this, that, the other. She's pretty much just saying, listen, y'all are lying. I didn't say that, but everyone can see it. You don't have to say it. You're not attracted to the guy. There's not been one cuddle, kiss, embrace, holding hands, nothing to make the other couples in the house, or even Aaron himself, feel like Jodie's attracted to him. Nothing.
Yeah, yeah. So you think it looks like D is saying, although deservedly so, I didn't realize the couples could be put out the house like Brandon and Sienna were. I'm thinking that maybe this couple might be the next couple to go. I'm thinking that
Yeah,
Joe and Aaron J, we gonna be waving goodbye to them next week.
yeah, and like I said, it's about that time.
Yeah,
It's
it looks
about that
like it
time.
might be that time. Well, I don't know. When let me, you know what? Let me backtrack on that because I just thought about something. Okay, so the last one of the pieces of information that we did learn about Jody is that she went through this sexual trauma, this abuse when she was very young, and so I'm thinking that if they're setting that up this week, then for next week maybe actually maybe they could have some counseling. But on the other side, maybe the counseling, because we do see, and that's in our next week, we do see Greg and Millie, and they're talking about trauma. And we knew that she had been raped, if you follow what I'm saying, raped.
Hmm.
But then now apparently we see him in the comments in the confessional saying that he never thinks about his own trauma, which is something
Hmm.
I've talked about a lot before, is that I was shocked when I actually stopped and listened to the men in my life, that so many of them that you would never suspect have been violated. So it's not just a
Right.
woman thing. It's just like DV. It's not just a woman thing. It can happen to men. It can happen to little boys.
Of
So
course. And often it goes underreported when it happens to, or not taken as seriously when it happens to men or boys, right?
exactly. It
But
does.
the other
Yes.
the other thing is, trauma bonding is not a good thing for a relationship, right?
Ooh, I never thought of it that way. Trauma bonding the two of them.
Yeah, like bonding over traumas. I mean, it's okay to have things in common, but traumas, if there are still wounds that are open from those traumas, you have to sort those things out. Make sure that you've got those any type of feelings about those things under control to a point where they don't manifest into behaviors in a relationship going forward. Because
Hmm.
if they're just still there, like if you're still triggered or reminded of certain things when you're in certain situations, then that's gonna play out in a negative way with the person you're trying to connect with.
Right, right. And I want to send a shout out to Kiki hanging out with us so late in the chat and dropping all these links. I want to send a shout out to her. Thank you, Kiki. I appreciate you so much. I hope you enjoyed yourself tonight. I think we got all the things that we're giving. Look over here real quick one last time. Yeah, that was it. That was the last note I had, was about Greg and his trauma. So I'm curious to see how deep we'll get into that. I hope it's not. I don't know. I don't know what to hope, because when you say trauma means something really bad, right?
Something you've gone through or experienced, right? and
Giving.
it's left an impact on you that may be negative or detrimental in some way.
There you go. There you have it. Yeah. So, and to your point, which is something I hadn't even considered actually at that point, is that hopefully the two of them aren't trauma bonding. Hopefully that's not the case. You're welcome. I see the kisses out there. Thank you for those, and thank you for the people in the chat too that are also leaving the reactions on your phone, whether it be the hearts or whatever. Thank you for that too. Thank you for those that were checking us out over on IG. Thank you for that. Those of you on Facebook and now X, formerly Twitter. Thank you for that. Anything else before we wrap this up, Jr.? You want to close us out with whatever?
Uh, I'll close us out with listen, do us a small favor. If you like the content, you like these weekly reviews, whether you have any opinions on the show or any of our thoughts or analysis, or even if you enjoyed our guest, Aaron, when he came on and gave us an insight into his thought processes and all that stuff. Listen, like, share, subscribe. Me and Aubrey, we do this every week. I've got my channel, Aubrey's got hers. Tune in, check us out. And yeah, like there's more content to come. Hopefully more interviews coming soon too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There you have it, folks. Said by JRX rated now. Okay. I'm glad to get used to that one. So bear with me. But guys, we love you. We love you already. Thank you for hanging out with us. Look forward to seeing you again next week. And go over if you haven't. If you watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, go over and check out Miss Iffy and I recap tonight, earlier today, this afternoon, of that latest episode. And I think tomorrow around about 3 o'clock ish or so, I should be on, and we're going to talk about the whole Diddy situation. And okay, so look for that. Set your notifications up to all, and join us tomorrow. Join me tomorrow, I should say. And we're going to get into it a little bit about the Diddy situation and the apology, right? With that being said, you ready to shimmy and shake on out of here with me, JR?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. Well, here we go, guys. Love you guys. Good night.